Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem Ajame. We got everybody else. They will be in just a few minutes. This is Monday morning. Good morning, Gene Sully. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? I got another person there says ID. Don't know what your name is, but good morning to you as well. Glad to have you with us. We are first before we get started. I want to ask you, how was your weekend? What did you do over the weekend, man? Did you have a productive weekend? Was it good? I did some things. My wife and I we went out Saturday, had a great time. Went down to downtown Atlanta, hung out there. Good morning, Bill 09. Good morning to you. We had a great time. Went, like I said again, we went downtown Atlanta, hung out down there, man, and met some great people, met some incredible people down there, and always be some good people when I go downtown Atlanta. Um, Depends on what you're looking for. I don't go down there for no foolishness. I go down there. I like meeting good people, having good conversation with people, and hopefully it could grow into something in the future, something productive in the future. And so met some good people. Good morning, Lucinio. Lucinio, what's that? Bolden? Is that Bolden or Rolden? I can't see this across the room, so please accept my apology. Not trying to butcher your name, but good morning. Glad to have you. What did you all do this weekend? Did y'all have a good weekend, man? The weather was amazing. The weather was amazing. I definitely enjoyed the weather and being able to be out there. We had a great meal downtown Atlanta, man. Well, the meal was amazing. It was just a good weekend. Then Sunday, um, I had scheduled, I had something scheduled for Sunday. I was actually supposed to do a video shoot Sunday evening, but unfortunately, the people did not. The guests that the host had was not able to make it. It was a local politician wasn't able to make it, and so we had to postpone that. So hopefully we'll be doing it this Sunday. We'll be doing that particular interview. But outside of that, man, I just enjoyed the family. Man, had a great time. Something something that's been in the news that I've been a little concerned about, and I want to talk to you all and find out what you all think about it as well. Um, this whole situation going on with the Boston Celtics, and this is something sports. Some of y'all might not even like sports, but what has been going on with the Boston Celtics coach? He had an affair with a young lady, a consensual affair with a young lady, and because of the fact that she was a part of the Boston Celtics, she's married, and he's not married. He has a very beautiful girlfriend, if you will. I'm not gonna put her name out there. Y'all probably know who it is, but they had an affair, sexual affair, consensual, and he was suspended for the entire season. He was suspended for the entire season. And I'm just trying to figure out now, these are two, it has nothing to do with basketball. Two consenting adults. They decide to get together and do what two consenting adults does. Yes, it was wrong. She's married, so that part of it was wrong. Yes, I would agree. I would agree with that 110%. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Norman. And the phone lines are open. Y'all tell me what y'all think. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Two consenting adults. It was wrong because she's married. I would grant that part, and I there's no right in that. But did the team have a right to step in with two consenting adults? Do and suspend this man. Now, I don't know whether she's suspended because she worked for the team as well. I never saw anything where it says she was suspended, but he's suspended for the entire season. He's suspended. Listen to me now. Whatever he was deemed to make this year, he's suspended for the entire season. Not 5 games, not 10 games, not 12 games. He is suspended for the entire season. Let that soak in for a minute now. I don't understand that, and for him to be suspended for the entire season. Again, I don't know whether she's actually suspended. She was a part of the Boston Celtics as well. Again, I will say that she's married, and that was wrong. What they did was wrong, but they were two consenting adults. Nobody was forced to do anything. There was no quid pro quo, whatever you call that thing. None of that stuff was going on. It was two consenting adults went and had an adult activity. Those two together. Should the team have had anything to do with that at all? If it is wrong, let her and her husband deal with the situation. That's their life. Let them deal with the situation as to what happened. But for the team to come along, suspend him for the entire season. Now, I'm going to transition because this is a young African American man. I'm going to transition about the whole Brett Favre situation, and we're going to talk about that as well. But right now, Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. I'm out here enjoying another beautiful new day, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rico, what do you think about this whole situation with the Boston Celtics coach, man? Him and the young lady, they had a consenting two adults came together and they did what adults do. Now she it was wrong because she's married. He's not married. Got a beautiful young girlfriend. I think they split up now. Um, and I'm not gonna call her name, but I'm sure you know who his girlfriend is. Good morning, Torrance. Good morning, Lonnie. But the team suspended the coach for the entire season. What is that too much?
I mean, I don't know, man. First off, she ain't young. Neil
No.
Long ain't young.
See, he gonna just put a name out. He gonna just put a name out there like that.
Well, it's out there. You said the Boston Celtics coach. You might well say his name. I mean, come on. I mean, the logic to that is anybody can look it up. So, I mean, I don't need to jumping around that.
Mm-hmm.
It's out there. It's been out there a couple of days.
Yeah.
And our name all over the social media. I mean, so now, I mean, it would be, I ain't gonna say ridiculous, but I mean, what kind of sense now to be like, I don't know who she was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
we know who she was.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that might be the policy of the team, fraternizing. Essentially, they weren't married. That was just, his girlfriend, his fiance.
Yeah.
As far as she goes, the woman that was in the in the organization, I guess you say she was married.
Yeah,
right?
she's married with 3 kids, 3 young kids.
Well, if they have rules like the military, they might be justified. I mean, he might be lucky to not have been fired. So in the military, I think you get kicked out. I mean, so it depends on their company rules. When you go somewhere, you have general company rules, and sometimes they really go against fraternization, instead of intimate relationships between employees.
Mm-hmm.
I know down here at the Honda plant, if I mean, it's hard not to do this because they have a lot of situations of infidelity and, bad situations happening between relationships. But when you work with somebody 8 hours, 9 hours a day, you're an attractive man, she's an attractive woman. And then y'all start having things in common. You start spending more time with this person, more intimate time, even though you're working.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending more intimate time with this person than your family. You're going to end up having some type of close relationship or close bond. If you don't know how to stop that, put limits on that, it can go too far.
Mm-hmm.
See, and so like when that does happen at this plant that I know about, they'll split you up. Either you can continue working there, or one person will have to go ahead and leave. But if they find out there's 2 people out there, well, this is where it used to be. It ain't like that no more. They don't got a little slack. But it used to be that you couldn't be married or in a relationship working together out there. You could be on opposite shifts, but they didn't want you on the same shift. So some companies they actually warn against that, and the Celtics is a company, an organization. So he might not have a leg to stand on, and actually, if he keeps his job, that might be a blessing because, like I said, in some cases, you might get fired for that.
But see, and I can agree with that, and that makes a whole lot of sense. But at the same time, I've heard other people come forward and say that that's in the sporting arena that actually someone worked for or passed in the past worked for the Boston Celtics themselves and say this is not across the board. And I don't know whether they had a fraternization because a lot of teams do have that. But one of the things that they say is that this has happened before. and the penalty has not been as harsh as it is with him. So why him and why now? There's been players. They a lot of times they say, and I don't know how this thing works, but they say the players not supposed to be involved with the cheerleaders. They say the players can't get involved with the cheerleaders and stuff like that. That's that's it's forbidden. You don't do that. Um, but things like that has happened. There has been other people from what they say, and like I said, I'm not there. I can't say whether they just make it up or whatever, create that as they go, if you will. But they said there has been other people on the team at higher levels that has had relationships with other people in the organization, and they were not punished or penalized in the same way. I say all the time, I don't care if you, and I do care if you treat me bad, but a lot of time I say I don't care if you treat me bad, just treat me equal. And so, from what they're saying, this is not equal. This is not an equal situation. They did the punishment that he's getting for the entire now. I could see him getting a few games, 10 games or whatever, something like that. But the entire season, that's tough. And for that to happen to him in that way, and other people do the same thing, and they not get the same penalty. People that are actually in the head office and stuff like that, that's in higher positions, quote unquote, higher positions than he's in. That's why I have an issue with it.
Well, I think that's what most people's issue is. I mean, if that is the case, this is the thing. Any place I've ever worked or gone, I've been a part of, I hate being singled out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even like it when it's for a good reason.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're being singled out or targeted for a bad reason, that's equivalent to being discriminated against.
Absolutely.
And you at least want to know that if this violation warrants this consequence, that if everybody that had committed this violation had the same consequence.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is we talking about America.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's
about America. We used to people living by double standards and having a benefit of doubt or getting, a little leeway.
Mm-hmm.
Immunity. We've seen different ways that people work the law to get away from things, or people with money get away with things. But if that is the case, which I know, don't get me wrong, I know there are situations like the situation with John Gruden before he finally got fired. He got fired for saying something about, gay stuff, if I ain't mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, said something about the gay stuff and he got fired. But before then, he was already in trouble with Dan Snyder for some stuff with the Washington Redskins cheerleaders. Well, they actually had them girls to go down to an island down in the Bahamas, if I'm not mistaken, and walk around topless and take pictures with all kind of investors, big time money people, people we don't know the names of. And they got swept under the rug. I mean, Dan Snyder still owns the Washington Commanders. I don't want to say the Redskins. He still owns the Commanders. He hasn't been forced to sell it. You have this situation with the Phoenix Mercury and Sons owner just selling both of his teams. Ooh, man, it's a real bad situation behind that. Had to do with race.
Exactly.
And I figure, that and the Brett Favre situation, all of those things pertaining to these white men that have committed violations, receiving very little headlines, just like the white guy that beat up his black girlfriend and played in the NFL those years ago. Never heard too much about that like you did with Ray Rice.
Exactly.
So it's like, you see this going on and you get to the point where, like, if this isn't consistent, his punishment isn't consistent, then that's when our people need to start waking up and realizing that no matter how much we want to be a part of this system, it's just some parts of it we're not going to be able to be a part of. This may be a distraction tactic by the media, to actually be this extreme with that type of punishment, and then to just push it through the headlines like they're doing it. I think it really may be a distraction tactic from all these other things that's going on in sports.
And see, I can see that too. I can see that too because, like I said, I was going to go into the that whole Brett Favre situation and what he did there in Mississippi. It's not getting a lot of airplay, man. A lot of people are not talking about it. Shannon Sharpe, he came out. He spoke real strongly about it. And then I saw where Stephen A came back. He said, and Stephen A, he said it. He said, man, I don't know. He said, at first I didn't know about it. He said, my partner, he said, I know it's a competitor, but I applaud Shannon Sharpe over at Fox for shedding lights on this thing. And he felt very passionate. He said, I feel the same way that he feels. And I don't know whether Stephen A got some flack because ESPN they try to curb you a little bit as to what you say, and don't want you to, certain things they don't want you to put out there. It's certainly on one of the golden boys, which is Brett Favre. But he said, it doesn't make any sense that Brett Favre was dead behind wrong, and he should be ashamed of himself. But Stephen A went so far as to say that that's who Brett Favre is, though. He's always been that person. He's always been that guy. But the media is not talking about it. The media is not really talking about that situation, man, and what he did. To me, doesn't make any sense. Rico, why do you think is that a double standard? And let's speak on what he did.
Yeah, it's a double standard. I mean, what he did before was equivalent to what Deshaun Watson did.
Yeah.
But he didn't get the suspension and the fines and the lawsuit. I mean, he got a little quick settlement. It hit the news.
Mm-hmm.
It did. He was it was a perv. I mean, it really exposed who he was, man. He's a nasty guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the typical filthy jock that had a platform and everybody prayed because he had money and he entertained people with his athleticism. And then they glorified him because he could play football.
Yep.
But at the time, he was doing a lot of nasty stuff that people do when they get away with it, when you got power and control. Once again, you can get away with things that everybody else can't get away with. They give you shit on the wrist. Oh, he's just joking. Oh, that's just the way they are. And that's what happens when people have power or when people have favor. Other people will give them a pat on the back, a slide, or just a little slap on the wrist, and go on about your business. They call it affluenza. They even did it in a court of law. So I mean, yeah, man, the guy. Once again, there are situations that are being swept under the rug, and we talk about Brett Favre, but then like I said, you mentioned the owner of the Mercury and the Suns selling his team. This is a hot sale. You speak about Dan Snyder. You speak about the guy that had to sell the Clippers. If it had not been for that weird woman that came out and exposed and recorded all this stuff that he said, wouldn't nobody know that you had somebody racist owning a team full of well-paid black men.
Yep.
And if you listen to how this owner felt, sooner or later you'll realize this economic system they got those players that they have us participating in is still an owner and indentured servant mindset.
And
a lot of these owners these days, I mean, listen, I can't even repeat the man's name, but I know he has enough money to pay LeBron James. He has enough money to pay Chris Paul.
Yep.
I don't even know this Phoenix son of Phoenix Mercury name, but he has power and influence, man. He has enough money to pay his team, his Devin Bookers, the people that we glorify, put on a pedestal for being athletic and having money. He paid them. So, man, these owners and these people behind the scenes, they live by affluence. They get away. They have they have favoritism, and they live by another set of rules.
Yeah, exactly.
We just have to realize that these rules apply and understand that even when we think we have made it, or whatever our idea of success is completely an illusion.
And I've been saying this, and I got a lot of flack. I got some flack, some feedback from people when I say this right here, man. But I say that sports, the whole arena of sports, professional sports, is just a legalized form of slavery. I say that all the time, man. People say, man, how could they making all that money, slave to make no money? If you take away that element of it, they own, and they'll tell you they own you. You don't do this, don't do that. Is to me, they have too much control over your life, over your existence. And I can't do this because I'm under contract. What? Let's speak about their contract. Let's talk about their contract for a minute, and see that contract is to me, and I could be totally wrong. I feel the way I feel. I think that's a legalized form of modern day slavery. Rico, and you may feel differently. What's on your heart, brother?
Usually, everybody employed by somebody is in that type of situation. I mean, it offends some people to say that. You know what I'm saying? But when you realize how indentured servitude worked, or how slavery in Africa worked before the transatlantic slave trade, those people worked their ways out of slavery. That was in Africa. Slavery was a form of punishment, and once you fulfill that term of that punishment, you were released. If you had children, your children weren't born into that same slavery that you were penalized to. Your children were free. Even if it was in an act of war, you were taking the slaves. It got to a point where you can either convert and fight for them, or you can work your way out of it. But this transatlantic slavery thing, man, it was completely different type of contract. This was this wasn't about penalization. This was about, okay, we're gonna get you to produce something for us, and we might or we might not pay you. Now, I mean, like I said, it was an indentured servitude thing. That was an agreement to either pay a debt or to do something for somebody for a certain amount of time, an agreement. But now, people don't realize it's the same thing. We apply to go to somebody to do their job, and they pay us a certain amount of money. But it hurts us to realize this is the reality of this. Inflation has increased by 77%, I think, in the last 20 years. But wages has only increased by maybe 7%.
Wow.
So that means the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poor. So you got these team owners and these Brett Favres that make these huge contracts. And we look at them and think, well, man, they ain't slaves. They making $30 million a year. They ain't slaves. But guess what? They under contract, and there's something they can't do. And if you ain't careful, you'll get Colin Kaepernick.
Exactly.
You get Ray Rice. You won't get Brett Favre, but if Brett Favre get out of hand, he could get R. Kelly. You know, one minute the system that's supposed to penalize you and uphold justice can be bought and get you out. But then all of a sudden you start crying about your money and what the system owe you, and they turn it right back around on you and get you.
Exactly. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. And Rico, you're absolutely right, man. That whole system will turn around before you know it. It got you. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Another beautiful and blessed day to be with people.
Yes, sir. What's on your heart? I know you commented a couple of times on what we're talking about with the whole situation concerning the basketball coach, Boston Celtics, and Boston's and people don't know. People has never been to Boston, man. Boston is a very racist place, man. Boston is very racist, man, and people talk about it all the time. But Badger, what's on your heart about the Boston Celtics coach and what Brett Favre did?
Both of them are idiots.
Say it again.
Both of them are idiots. I'm done. Like, I'm more worried about why do we have teacher shortages? What can we do about that? Not sport. Like, it's a human being doing something stupid, ignorant, or, oh, I'm going to wave this money around and get away with it. It's the news.
Okay.
It's one-sided. It has been for at least the mid-90s, if not for bloody sure. It's one-sided since the 90s.
But my thing is this right here. You say two stupid people doing stupid things. Explain that to me, because like I say, I know what that means, but my thing is this right here with this young man that we're talking about. He was two consenting adults, and they had sexual activities with each other, and he's suspended for the whole year. My question is, does the punishment fit the crime? What was it something crazy that they did? It absolutely could be. It could be.
Did he rape her?
Listen, this is what I just said, brother. You asked a question off something I already gave you the information for. I said listen to me. I said it was two consenting adults doing what they wanted to do. Two consenting adults.
So there was no. I thought I heard something earlier while I was listening before I hopped in. What, wasn't he married?
No, she's married. He's not married.
She's married.
Yes.
And they both consented.
Yes.
Doesn't that go against certain beliefs and things like
We're
that?
not talking about beliefs, brother. We're talking about whether right or wrong does the penalty fit the crime.
To me, they're two human beings that made a choice to do something that a lot of people are going to disagree with. And right now, where this country is sitting, it's messed up. And Brett Favre should have got punished more than what he got away with. So it's just I do not like. I mean, yes, it's cool. The news is letting us know, but it's probably being broadcasted everywhere. I don't watch a lot of that sports stuff because there's always somebody in sports doing something or being involved in some kind of court case. What's the word? Adultery, rape, drugs, steroids. I mean, they're getting paid millions of dollars. Rules are changed all the time. They're controlled with every little thing they can and can't do, or they have enough money to pay off people.
See, my thing is, I don't want to get in a situation whereas we have people thinking that we're talking it's just in sports. That happens across the board. It's just that this topic we're talking right now deals with sports, but that happens across the board. Rico,
absolutely.
Go ahead, Abacha. Finish your thought, brother.
No, I agree. It happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand there's a lot of people that like to talk about these things. I just
it's not at the top of your list of discussions.
Absolutely not. The teachers, getting some of these politicians out of and judges and stuff out of the positions that they're in is a way to solve a lot of this nonsense.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's going to solve anything in the sports arena that we're talking about, though.
Well, when they do something to that degree, especially Favre, they got to deal with a judge, don't they?
I don't know.
The judge lets them off. That's a problem.
Rico, what do you say to that, brother? I don't think that the politics and voting the right person in this instance, I don't think voting the right person in office or whatever would affect what we're talking about in regards to sports. I think that's a different layer. I could be wrong though. What do you say?
Well, I don't think it would either unless somebody started trying to make laws to have more regulations in sports or something. I mean, but to me, I think we're just because I'm like Badger. I don't like getting caught up in entertainment, and stuff like that too much. But at the same time, it's an eye opener that beneath the scenes, there's a whole nother way of life going on that we don't really pay attention to. See, we'll look at these coaches and these athletes and actors and entertainers and think, oh man, they got it made. They famous now. They're celebrities now. We think that when you get money, that somebody else actually controls. When you get money, that you just got it on easy street. We don't know that there still are people above them that dangle their strings and tell them, okay, this is what you got to do to maintain this income. This is what you got to do to maintain this opportunity to continue your lifestyle. Now, we're going to let you do what you want to do, but if you're not careful, we'll cut your head off. But if you play the game right, we'll look out for you. So that's why I think it is sometimes important to bring up the athletes and entertainers and the coaches, the people that we look at as wealthy or successful, living and getting a reality check, that there's still a whole nother level of this thing that goes on with it. They don't have it like we thought they had. The illusion of what success is, it's not like that. They go through it too. So I think these are opportunities when we look at athletes, because some people do glorify them and idolize them.
Yeah, too much.
This is an opportunity for us to show those people that idolize those athletes, hey, you thought they had it going on. You thought they had this power. You thought they had this wealth. But look at R. Kelly now.
Exactly.
He tried to play the game. Look at all these people that tried to play along with the game. They tried to do a lot of these things. Look at Andrew Gillum. down in Florida.
Yep.
He was on his way to being the next Obama. But see, he thought he could do little strange, nasty things that the white boys do. And he got comfortable doing those things with them. And what they did, they set him up.
Yep.
They made him comfortable, made him feel like he was one of them. Same thing they do with policemen, black policemen. These athletes get the wake-up call, and the fans get the wake-up call at the same time to realize there's a whole nother level of elite that control and they discriminate, and they do live by a double standard, another set of rules. Look at Prince Andrew right now. Has he gone to jail or been prosecuted? All these people that Jeff Epstein has dealt with, we ain't heard nothing else about those people. The people that participated and spent money with these people for these little girls. So I mean, you know, sports and money and wealth, I hate discussing it, but at the same time, we have to discuss it so people can understand that what we perceive as wealth is nothing. You could think that people got money, they control everything, but no, they don't control nothing. The people that control money are the ones that really have the power. Not the people with the money, the people that control the money and the resources.
Exactly. And my thing is this right here. Even with the Watson situation, and he's with Cleveland now. He can't play till mid-season or something like that. Quite a few games he's suspended. But even the things that happen with him, people can't nobody tell me. Can't nobody tell me that all this stuff happened in the little frame of time that when it hit the news. All this stuff just happened. This with the amount of people that he say that he did and all these masseuses and stuff like that he supposedly victimized. You can't tell me that they happened within a couple of months. That's been good. If he did allegedly, if he did it, that's something that's been going on for years. So why was it covered up so long while he was there in Houston? Why was it covered up so long? Because he was a good old boy. He was oh, you be a good boy. We're gonna cover it up. Don't worry about it. We got that. We got that. Only time it came out. Only time they came out to Front Street when he started talking about he wanted to leave the team and he wanted to be traded to somebody else. Now all of a sudden you got 20 and 30 or 40 girls saying that he did this or he did that. All this coming to the forefront now. Why then? Why then? Why did you hear? You didn't hear anything, man. Look here, and I know y'all don't like talking about sports a lot, but you didn't hear anything about that until he said he wanted to be traded. Because you follow sports, and I think you like Watson. What do you say to that, brother?
I don't like him. He beat Alabama. But I mean, you know, but I mean that's the truth. I mean, the thing is like I said, I watch sports, but I don't get consumed by it like everybody else does. So I can look between the lines and see these other things and realize the difference between ownership and players and understand that contract and that dynamic of still being a quote unquote employee, quote unquote indentured servant, quote unquote well-paid slave. I can understand that dynamic in the mindset of those people that control the money. The ones that say, well, you know what, we'll go ahead and give you $250 million for 10 years. Oh, you know what, we take that back. You just got injured. We ain't got to guarantee no money. You know, I look at that and then I look at what you said about how he got in trouble and, oh, you want to play with somebody else? Yeah, we know we got a sorry coach. As a matter of fact, we got that coach at Alabama now, sucking our offense up. We know you don't like the coach. We know we're not building around you right. But we've been giving you all this money. And we also been giving you access to all these different women so you can continue getting these massages to keep you healthy. You little nasty dude. And to be honest with you, we know about it, and you probably been telling us about it joking because we do it too. We're the ones told you, hey, call this massage company right here. They'll take care of you. Try to introduce you to one girl that was willing, and then you thought the rest of them was like that. But now they got you. They might have you on tape and everything. So you ready to get traded? Well, guess what? We can't look out for you no more. Here it is. Boom. He touched me too. He touched me too. It's for me. It's for something me too. 22 women. 24, 20. How many of them? Everybody been keeping it a secret. Now all of a sudden you ready to leave Texas. Well, you gonna pay if you don't want to stay around here and play our ball the way we do things around here.
Exactly.
So this is our culture in this organization. And now some of the things you got away with, you know, man, listen, That's how they get these little rappers and all these actors and everybody, man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They get
exactly.
them and introduce them some real strange things, and they tell them, well, this is what we do when you reach this level of life, when you reach this status. This is the lifestyle we live. Everything goes.
It's a different plateau.
We deal with power. And now, you know, you thought you had some power. No, you were just, you know, somebody that they use to maintain their power.
Exactly.
Now they're going to knock you down, like I said, like Colin Kaepernick.
Exactly. Badger, what is power?
That's a tough one. That, a lot of times I feel it's perceived that power is only accessible with money. Because with money you can buy or purchase a lot of things.
Let me ask you this: if you had your favorite uncle, say if you had a favorite uncle, and you knew you could go to your uncle in any situation, regardless of what it is, he's gonna shoot straight with. He's gonna tell you the truth. He's gonna help you out, whatever situation. He don't have a lot of money. He don't have a lot of money and stuff like that. He's living check to check. Sometimes can't make it from check to check. But because of the fact that he's able to go and go to bat for you in different situations, is that power? Now he's not very wealthy. He don't have he living sometimes, like I said, paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes he not even making it from paycheck to paycheck. But every time you find yourself in a situation, you could go to him, be it legal or whatever it is, you could go to him, and he'll be able to get you out of this situation. He'll be able to help you. Just his presence will be able to help navigate you through that situation, so you find yourself on a better side or a better end of it. Is that power?
No, that's facilitating.
Facilitating what?
Letting people get away with things they shouldn't be.
So that there's no power involved in that.
I mean, I guess you could perceive it as power.
No, not my perception. I'm asking you, brother. I'm asking you. Tell me what you think.
Well, no, I'm not saying.
I know what you're saying.
What I'm saying. I know there are people that would perceive it as a type of power. Yet to me, I mean, that's kind of like mafia type stuff.
Some people think the mafia is powerful.
I mean, yeah, no. I mean, it depends on where you're at. There's some people the mafia won't even mess with. So, I mean, do they have power or is it respect?
Does Trump have power that he can lead all these people? Half of them probably know that he's wrong and he's different. I see it that way. Does he have power?
He has money.
He's not giving
the people
money.
The word power.
He's not giving the people money though, but they follow him to the end. He's like you said, he could go down in the middle of Times Square and shoot somebody and not lose a vote. That's not money.
So to me, if a person in a position like that can get away with so much and people see it, and he has money, it can give folks the ideology that that's how they're supposed to live if they're to succeed in America. The idea, I think, is what's power. And the fact that they're not dealt with or punished for doing what they're doing is lack of justice. So to me, the reason I keep saying power is not really a thing is, to me, there's only one power, and that's Great Spirit. The rest of it is just ideas and manipulation and illusions.
Wow.
So it's going to boil down to, what is the individual you are asking and their perception of what power is. I don't give those kind of people power. So therefore, to me, they have no power. What I see is ignorance and someone with a silver tongue that people unfortunately listens to.
Mm.
So
Okay.
why would I say they have power when that's not how I view them?
Okay. Okay. That's your view. Like I say all the time, brother. I don't give anybody their opinion. You have your own. Rico, what do you say to that? What is power, Rico?
Man, power is when you are able to affect somebody's outcome or situation
Mm-hmm.
or impact it. Like a judge has power.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Those people that told Badger he couldn't get those benefits have power. You know, when I tried to get my driver's license back reinstated, the people that told me that I had to pay these enormous amounts
Mm-hmm.
to get them reinstated had power. And then on the third try, I talked to a brother that told me I didn't. The only thing I had to do was sign a contract to make an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know these people had the discernment. It was based on what they wanted to do.
Yep.
On if they could give me my license back or not.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was mandatory. So it's like the people that make the rules, the people that make the laws, they have power. They have the ability to control the outcome or a situation. Sentencing you when you are innocent.
Does it
You
always
know,
go Badger said a lot of time is finances. Does it always have to have a certain amount of finance? Do they have to have do the people that you're speaking about right now, do they have to have a lot of money in order to have that power?
no. Sometimes you can just have information.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can just have what those people that really have money and power want. Some of them on dope, some of them like little boys, some of them like little girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jeff Epstein, he wasn't a billionaire like they said. But to be honest with you, he wasn't even 700 million now that they said he was.
Mm-hmm.
But he had assets and power. He had all this stuff, all these assets that belonged to the man that owned Victoria's Secret.
Mm-hmm.
He used all of that access and that information that he had. Video. They said that, you know, it is well known that he recorded everybody.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So somebody protected him and gave him the power to fly little girls from islands and from continents, from Florida. I mean, listen, man, these were 14, 15, and 16-year-old girls flying out of the country.
Wow.
On private airliners, going to private islands. Look, locked up and sentenced to prison and getting out, going home every day.
Mm.
That's power. Because sometimes you can know somebody that knows somebody. You can know the people that got the money and the power. And they could pull some strings for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, like I said, you know, we have the wrong idea of wealth. We think people that have all the money got all the power, but it's the people that control the money that have all the power. If you have control, you have information. If you have the things that I ain't gonna even say that there is something like I said, it could just be information, detrimental information, very damaging information on a person. They don't want you to know about it. And the thing is if you know this type of information, but they know they can't touch you, they know they can't do anything with you, you might be able to extort them.
Mm-hmm. And you
That's
said
what
something
happens a
earlier,
lot. So,
and you
you
said
know,
something earlier, man, that ties right into what we're talking about right now. You said that's how the industry get a lot of these young rappers and people like that, man. They get them videos or get them pictures and stuff like that of them in compromising situations. And before you know it, they say, look, either you're gonna sign this contract or we're gonna expose you. And before you know it, they're signing their life away, man. They're signing their lives away. And so that too to me is power. Badger, what is the difference? What is the difference, Badger, between like we said earlier, influence and power?
Power to me is when you give someone something. Influence is either with a name or an amount or being tied to someone with a name that is scary is influence. Power is something that isn't just someone has. It's something that's given. Like there's a lot of teachings out there of we're going to use Satan as an example. Satan does a lot of things, right? Lies, manipulates, all kinds of stuff, yeah? Promises all kinds of stuff. But he only
Okay.
has power when we give it to him.
Okay. Okay.
So once again, that's why I speak the way I speak. Though what I hear is just people with influence. I don't and that's what it is they have influence in news, they have influence with knowing the right people, and so on and so on. And those people just use their influence to push a prerogative.
Okay.
So now the people that are behind all that, I was in, this is kind of going off Rico. I was in that meeting Saturday night, the one that Public Citizen has. And once again, I had to pull up the federal document of the person at the Federal Reserve and thing, showing a huge concern and begging the government to check into the banks and the people running the banks and certain corporations because they were starting to buy up everything. And their fear was they're literally going to run everything. And if you take that document and look at today's society, when an old company can tell the president that, hey, we ain't got to listen to you, that's when you start getting into power. So these smojos who are getting off and stuff, that's influence nonsense. When you talk about when you can affect an entire population or an entire country just by saying no, that's power.
Rico, what do you stand on that? What's the difference between power and influence?
Well, to me, they first cousins. I mean, it's not too much difference from them, you know. But I do believe that in a lot of cases, we do give people power.
Yes.
You know, like especially as consumers. You know, in the need of survival, we do have to consume. But we have a problem with over consuming and overindulging and, you know, over worshiping things. You know what I'm saying? We are a species of behavioral addicts. And so, you know, it gets to a point where we'll complain about inflation. You know, I said up earlier about wages not being able to well, not increasing at the same rate of inflation. But we'll still consume. So I thought to myself, like, you know, I walk every day, right?
Yes.
And I had to get away from being under the influence of convenience. Get out of my comfort zone sometimes, you know, because we could get dependent.
Yeah.
And see, you give a lot of people power when you get dependent on things that they provide, the resources, the entertainment, the distractions, whatever it is they provide, you can get dependent on it and feel like you start needing it. So, you know, I get out and walk every morning. And sometimes I like to go to this park and walk. It's a nice view. You get to see a lot of people, but at the same time, it's still peaceful. But then I thought about it. How can I keep complaining about gas when I'm wasting gas to go to a park when I can do the same thing in my neighborhood? See, I was ready to keep continuing to contribute to the things that I'm complaining about.
Yeah.
Because it was convenient and it was so easy to consume. So, you know, I think giving people power, they can control how much we spend for gas. They know they have power because we're not going to stop using it. We're not going to conserve. When the last time you really heard the word conserve, besides when you hear a conservative party?
You really don't. Not a lot.
See, we don't like to conserve, and see, the conservative party is built on that. Once again, it's been warped to a certain extent, just like the Democratic Party, but that's getting away when we just even get into that word about conserve. But I think if we got to a situation where we thought about conserving more and not wasting so much, then we wouldn't give so many people that didn't deserve power so much power, because these people that have power, they don't have a mankind whole community mindset.
Mm-hmm.
They have a me and mine mindset. And these people that we give power to, they're going to continue to have power because we continue to consume.
Yep.
We continue to be addicted to our conveniences.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we continue to complain about the fact that we are going to work for people who we depend on to pay us to survive.
Mm-hmm. Badger,
dependence. So I think we're so codependent, to the point where we give up a lot of power, and that influence that they have on our survival, just makes them abuse that power.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, El Picador. Good morning to each and every one of you. And a lot of people has come into the room, and I hadn't had an opportunity to say good morning to each and every one of you. I do apologize. Sometimes I don't get a chance to look at the screen as often as I should. But good morning to each and every one of you. And the phone numbers are open. The phone lines are open. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Badger, what would you rather your immediate family to have? Influence or power?
My immediate family?
Yes.
Both are a double-edged sword. What type of power are you talking about?
I'm putting it on the table for you, brother. Influence or power?
No, if you're talking about anything that could be gotten from Great Spirit, we already have that. Now, if you're talking about what a lot of human beings want, as far as like being someone like Trump or someone that owns a bank or something of that nature, that's tough. Because that's really hard. I don't think like that. So it's, I know most of my life I've been able to have influence on a lot of street issues because of who I was. But I didn't view that as power. I just viewed that as respect.
Okay.
So
would other people view it as respect or power?
Most people I knew would say respect, because I never took advantage of it.
Okay.
I never pushed my stuff onto other people or anything, and I only showed up when a kid or a woman was involved. So if I was there, it was because that person shouldn't be involved. So that's a very abstract thought process for me, because I'm a firm believer that we have no power without Great Spirit unless we surrender it to something else, be it money, Satan, whatever.
That's good. That's good. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
Okay. Toussaint, what in your estimation and from your experiences, what is the difference between power and influence?
I thought you changed the question on me. Why you do that, man? Power. Is like to me, it's a status almost. It gives you status. It gives you the ability to have the resources or the energy to do certain things. Where as influence, you don't have to have. It's when you have influence, you can use somebody else's power to get it done.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's interacting. That's why you network for influence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to. I can use my. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking this, but I can use my influence to get my voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
I guess all I gotta do is know you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got the power. Matter of fact, if you want to shut me off right now, all you gotta do is press the mute button.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
So people. I would rather. I'm gonna go back to the question you asked. I thought I heard you ask. If I wanted my family to have anything, they don't need power. They need influence.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can have influence and go to the bank and get you a loan.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Old man told me one time before, man, I was a young fella, young teenager, and I had a little job. I was actually working on. I was a laborer, for a bricklayer, and I was a little summer job. And made good money doing it. It was hard work, but he said, "Look here, let me tell you something, young man." He said, "Look, don't ever mess up your credit." He said, because like even if I don't have a lot of money, I could go into the bank because I know the bankers there. I could go into the bank and I could get a loan on my name. If I go to a car lot, I say, look at here. This was years ago. I don't know if they even, but he said I could go on a car lot right now, and because of the fact I know the people that own the car lot, I can say I want that car, and I don't have any money. He said, but I could tell them I'm gonna come next week and I'm gonna make my payment and stuff like that. They'll give me the car because my word is good. But you know that's that, and I put through that in there because some would say that it's a little different, but that's, to me, that's influence. He have influence over the bank and the car lot. He have influence. Now he don't may not have a lot of power, but Rico, he have influence, and he could go there and tell them that I'm going to do this, and because of the fact he have influence, they're gonna believe his word because his word is proved to be true over and over again. What do you say to that?
Yeah, he got the influence to do that, and go and help them get power over you and get in their debt.
Man, why you gonna flip it, man? Why you gonna flip it, man? I was going somewhere with that, man.
Because it's the truth. That's the reality, though. But yeah, he can have that influence.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was glad Donna went there, man, because it was funny. It never fear how sometimes something comes to your mind, and then people will repeat it. Mm-hmm. And it came to me about how, I thought about a light switch.
Yeah.
And somebody with power can shut something completely down.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to a job and think, man, this job ain't gonna survive if I leave, and they'll have somebody in a heartbeat, bring somebody else in there, fill your spot. It might slow down a little bit, but they'll get him up to par, and he might end up being better than you.
Yep.
But the owner of that company can say, okay, you know what? I'm tired of this place. I don't want it no more. I'm tired of money. Everybody fired. Go find your job. He shut it down. That's power. Mm-hmm. When they can tell you whether you hired or fired.
Yep.
That's power, But now, like Donald said, with that influence, you can talk to somebody with an open mind and give them an alternative perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? You can give somebody, you can impact somebody's beliefs or something, a way they thought about something. You can come back and influence them to think another way. Introduce to them another thought process. That's influence. Right now we're trying to influence the elites to, hey, quit being so greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all climbing on up the Forbes list and prices start going up, but we don't see no reason why prices should be going up like this. Ain't nobody getting paid more. So somebody is trying to influence those people to understand that for humanity and for the United States to really succeed, everybody needs to be able to take care of themselves and not be so dependent on the government or on assistance. So yeah, man, I mean, that influence and power thing, man, it's huge. That there is a difference, but I think there's a lot of power in having influence.
Mm-hmm.
when you can talk to the people that have the power and get things done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I can respect where they're coming from,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I said earlier. It's different people. Some there are folks that view things differently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I've been sitting here thinking, well, if these folks have power, then where are the people that have power that can oppose them?
Mm.
Are
See,
they
and
hiding, or
see,
is it going to take a group?
and that's a very good question, Badger, because a lot of times, the people that have the, uh, in some instances, the people that have the power are not going to oppose each other. They're not going to oppose each other. They're going to let them go ahead and do what they're going to do because they don't want to, step in, if you will. Because when they started doing something, they don't want nobody to step in on them, and so they just let it go as it go. Um, a lot of these people, I hate to keep referencing back to this, but a lot of the quote unquote Republicans, when Trump came into office and became president, they knew I'm sure they knew a lot of things that he was doing was wrong, but they didn't want to. They didn't want to oppose him because when they did something, they don't want nobody to oppose them. But go ahead, brother. That's the way I think about it.
Wasn't speaking like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was more talking about if this world is full of love and fear,
Mm-hmm.
and you got someone like Trump, where's the person on the good side that has power?
Well, a lot of people actually in that regard, there are some people that's actually standing up with him. Um, uh, what's the name? Pelosi. She opposed him on everything he tried to do.
So why don't they have as much support?
Who's to say they don't? We
I,
always talk about the media, and the media gonna put it on the forefront. With it. Like we talked earlier about the situation with the coach for the Boston Celtics. It gets a lot of airtime. It gets a lot of airtime. With Farm situation, hardly gets any.
mm-hmm.
And so you know, that's the media. Unfortunately, that's media because I think that Brett Favre situation should get as much time or more because of what he did and how he did it there in Mississippi.
So now speaking from that point of view, to me it sounds like it's. I mean, I've always felt that we live in a fear-based society. Everyone's always
Mm,
afraid to step up against the folks that are like Trump and things. Yeah, there are folks that may be speaking out here and there in maybe a few thousand groups. But it's getting all of them. I mean, we kind of showed it during the election time, but got overridden by the other folks.
let me ask you a question. I'm gonna transition over to Tucson. But do you think the civil rights leaders, do you think they live in a fear-filled society?
Oh, them people?
Yeah,
No,
there you have it.
they live in love.
There you have it. See, and so we say 3 times. There's always somebody out there that's doing great
I
things, and
I was more referencing the. There are more folks that probably support them, people that are supporting them behind closed doors,
mhm.
but out in public, a lot of people turn into sheeples out of fear.
Well, that may be true, but at the same time, if I'm trying to do something to oppose an organization that I know is not right and that's it's not going to be good for the people, and I say the people, black, white, orange, polka dot, whoever it is, that's not going to be right for the people, and I don't have the finances to go out there and fight these people, but I have uh see a Tyler, I'm just throwing a name out there, Tyler Perry or who Oprah or whoever it is, somebody that have the money.
Um, I said what I said for a reason. Oh, they froze up. They'll be right back. I get my point of view is kind of strange because of the way I see the world, and there's a lot of people out there, including movie stars like the ones that he was saying. And there's a lot of fighting happening. But to me, the greatest power is when we, the American citizens, come together. And until we truly come together as one, we're still going to deal with a corrupt system. Corrupt people that are in positions of what folks would say is power. And high positions of influence. So I guess my view of power is skewed, I suppose, or biased. Because to me, those people only have power because we, the people, have not used ours. And it's, I guess, an awareness type of thing or a perspective. We are stronger when we're together, way more than we are separate. So it's a wild world we live in. Words, labels, and different things, we give them power. We give money power. We give ideas power or influence over us. And it takes a lot. An individual can be the best speaker in the world, yet without other people being just as brave to stand up against the opposition, it's not going to change. It's definitely an interesting time. So,
Badger, you did good, brother. You had the floor all by yourself, brother. You did good. Badger?
Boy, yeah, I'm here. I'm just, boy.
There was a lot.
Yeah, I don't do well when I don't have someone to give input.
You know, you did good, but you did good. I heard I couldn't hear the conversation because it was very low, but Rico and Tucson was talking about some. What was y'all talking about on the other side, man?
Go ahead,
I was
brother.
gonna throw a brick in the game.
Say it again.
I got an echo now, right here.
Okay, let me fix that.
Um,
All right, that should have did it.
Okay. So you still got an echo. Just a delayed echo.
Okay. Let me turn this down a little bit here. All right, try that now. Go ahead, keep talking. It'll go away. Keep talking.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're gonna keep on rolling. Look, you don't to have influence. You don't even have to be smart.
Wow.
You can be a complete idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to prove it?
Go ahead, prove it. Prove it, brother.
70 million people voted for Trump. Influence. That's all he had.
Mm-hmm.
He said I can go to somebody, kill somebody, shoot somebody, and never lose a vote.
Yeah, he said
He had influence.
Mm-hmm.
He's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
He's a criminal. He's a dictator. He's ignorant and stupid. But he got influence.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Got you. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Toya, I need to ask you a question. What is the difference, Toya, between power and influence? What's the difference?
Hmm. They kind of go hand in hand. Um, power is just I don't know. It's not to describe power. A lot of people got power in different places.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And influence. You can have influence in a lot of places too and not even know it. But I think still, they kind of go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
A person who feels powerless, I don't think they understand or even think about influence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they're powerless, but they still are influential. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that they're the same, but they definitely go close enough hand in hand. Well, I can't tell you that there's a difference between the two. You know what I'm saying?
What?
A position of power is something that you normally get, comes with money. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Or the position. You know what I mean? You could be a cop. You got a power trip. You could
Mm-hmm.
be a manager, good teacher. You could be an entertainer and be on a power trip. You know what I'm saying? But along with that, it's going to be influence the same. But you don't have to have or be a specific person to have power, have influence over your children, influence over your brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being a superstar to have actual influence, as I guess you can say, most people would say, as with power. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
I can't really say the difference, but they definitely go hand in hand. I don't think you can really have one without the other.
Now, personally, what would you rather have, Toya, power or influence?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't even think like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I already feel like I'm an influential person or a persuasive person. And I also feel like no matter where I go, I'm going to have power in that room or over that room. That's
Okay.
just a swag I walk with, but still, I don't think of it like that.
Uh-huh.
Something that I already have, so it's not like something I'm looking to have.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't look at power or influence like something I'm trying to achieve. There's other things I'm trying to achieve, like, knowledge, education, not necessarily power and influence. But
Gotcha.
I guess you could say I already got those.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Rico, we're gonna end this part of the conversation with you. I'm gonna go around, ask anybody have anything you want to say before we move on to something else. But what's on your heart right now?
Well, one thing that has to be consistent with power is authority.
Mm-hmm.
When you can control, like I said, you can control a person's outcome. Influence, we have to respect the power of influencers, and influences,
Mm-hmm.
but that has more to do with the mind.
Mm.
That has more to do with how you can get a person to think. Persuasion. Some of it could be done with witchcraft or casting spells or hypnotism. Using idols, using athletes and actors to promote an agenda, to influence a lifestyle or a way of life or thought process. And we are really all under the influence, especially over here in America.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is under the influence of the illusion of the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
And they use influencers to make you think you can be powerful if you just had more money, if you just had more money.
Yep. Yep.
But the real powerful people are the ones that pay those influencers. So we do have to respect the association between the two, because very powerful people are using money to influence those politicians that was against Trump at first. Ted Cruz and
Mm-hmm.
all them people that really just, he ain't got a chance. He ain't got a chance in the world. He ain't got
Yep.
a chance. Then all of a sudden, when they start seeing he had a chance, they started jumping on board.
Mm-hmm.
All the
Mm-hmm.
Tea Party people and everybody, these people that thought they jumped on board with him. He had influence. He had that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
man, that's a deep subject. We have to understand and respect the power of influence and the power of influencers,
Mm-hmm.
but understand on the true power is it has to be associated with authority or
Yeah.
control,
That's good.
being able to turn it off, turn it on, shut it down, sentence somebody, convict somebody, and you know they're innocent, throw the book at them or be lenient. You could give them affluenza, tell them they have affluenza, give them a light sentence, all that power, the authority to control somebody else's outcome or condition.
Anybody have anything? And that's good. That's good. And that's what it is too, man. You put it in a nutshell right there. The ability to influence someone else's outcome or condition. That's power. But do we give that power freely away? Tucson, do we give that power freely away to other people? Tucson and that doggone mute button. Tucson, you there?
Go ahead, Rick Ray.
Huh?
Got a call.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Toya, what do you say? Do we give that power freely away? Badger, coming to you next.
I think we can if we don't notice that we have it. You know what I mean? It's different levels, and sometimes, the person on the, I guess you could say, the lowest level, the normal average person who's not in the position of authority, can allow people to have power over them, power to make them mad, allow people to push their buttons. You know what I mean? So again, it's an individual thing with giving power away. You know what I'm saying? I guess to an extent, let's take the slavery situation. A lot of people were powerless in that situation. That wasn't nothing that they really had control over. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a physical power.
Yes.
So they really didn't, you know what I mean, have control over the power that people had over them versus where the slave master, the slave not doing something right, using that as a way because he's saying that they're pushing their buttons because they're not picking cotton fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Now it's two different types of power that you're saying you're allowing someone to take from you or have over you. You know what I'm saying? That physical strength of power is something that, life or death, they'll kill you if you don't have it. And that's a power, I'm not going to say that's given. You know what I'm saying? It's a power that's understood that you're not going to violate said person because of a physical, painful, what they can do, like what Rico was saying, you know what I'm saying? Versus where you're looking at it from a mental aspect. Oh, you don't give them the power to push your buttons. Don't give them the power to be able to do this, that, and the third to you. And then looking at it from a mental aspect that can be used differently. So I think it's a point about the mind. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to power and what type of power. Are you talking about a physical power? Are you talking about a mental power, which comes from influence? You know what I mean? So I don't think in all situations it has anything to do with you giving it away. I think, when it comes to physically, it can be taken.
It's conditional. I got you. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Kurt, coming to you next.
What's the question?
Do we freely give away that the power? We're talking about people have power over us. Do we actually give that power away? Because you spoke earlier about Satan don't have any power unless we give it to him. So do we give our power away?
A lot of times. I think there are certain situations where, see, that's also going to be dependent on who you speak with, because some people would rather take their own life than to give someone else power. But on the flip side, some people would say, well, you gave them power by taking your life. So it's, once again, it's going to boil down to how a person views things.
That's good.
So, because Toya brought up a very good point. Depending on what time period, we've had to deal with a lot of things. Rico brought up the thing about, a lot of people struggling with being able to get benefits or a driver's license and different things like that. I respected their viewpoint. A lot of people view those people are in a position of power. I don't, but others do. Because to me, it's the ones that, are making those laws and stuff like that, and all they're doing is just following them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't view those people having power at all.
Wow. Okay.
I view the people that are making the policies, that are making the bills and all that. However, we as human beings have more power working together.
Mm-hmm. And we always will. We always will.
Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
most of society thinks the individual is more powerful than the group.
Mm-hmm.
And until we
Wow.
get past that mentality, the group is weak.
Mm-hmm. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what up, man? What's going on, family? How
Hey,
y'all?
hey, doing good, doing good. Curtis, asking the question on what is the difference, or is there a difference between power and influence?
The difference between power and influence.
Yes.
Influence is a form of power.
Okay.
So, yeah, how you use your influence states your state of being. But influence, to me, influence is a, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but you know what? I don't even know how to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me that again.
What is the difference between power and influence?
Yeah. They are very different. Influence is trying to put together the words to say what I want to say.
I got you.
Influence is what you do
Mm-hmm.
with your power.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, in my opinion, that's how I see it. Influence is what you do with your power.
Okay.
So, and everybody don't choose to do the right thing. Just look at the orange orangutan, and we can see what influence and power can do. You can have power without having the ability to influence the multitude of them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll move to, for example, if you don't have the power to influence the masses, then you move to example, creating an element of fear to then influence somebody to do what you want them to do, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good deal. So what would you rather have, Curtis? Power or influence?
Well, I live my life by influence.
Mm-hmm.
So influence is always the better thing for me. I believe one of the greatest things ever written was Shakespeare when he wrote "Heavy is the head that wears the crown."
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get drunk with power. They get it really. You know the saying? What is it? Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I really do believe.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe in it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Let me take this opportunity. I want to say good morning to my mom, my mother. My mom's watching this morning. Good morning, baby. Love you. Let me go to Willa was next on the line. Willa, good, and Cassandra coming to you next. Willa, what is the difference between, and good morning, how you doing this morning? What is the difference between power and influence?
Good morning, Raheem.
Good morning,
Good
Willa.
morning. Hello. Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I am doing fine this morning. So the difference between power and influence.
Mm-hmm.
influence is something that could be positive or negative, Raheem. You can influence somebody to be a better person. And then if you're a negative person, you can influence them to be negative if they don't have the power to control themselves. What I'm saying is some people are weak-minded and they respect people who should I say, they may respect another individual's idea or somebody's suggestion, and they're able to influence them. So it depends on the individual, but I know you had asked a question about power. And I always say this, I don't give people free rent in my head.
Yes.
Because I have the power to control me at this point in my life. See, when I was younger, they were able to do that. But now that I understand life, oh no, Raheem, you ain't going to steal my joy. You ain't going to take something from me that you didn't give me. I'm not going to allow you to do that. See, now that's taking power. Because people do that. People, even with situations, Raheem, you got to learn to, because I can't control you.
Yes.
The only thing that I control is how I react to whatever the situation is. I can't change you.
Yes.
I even have to reach to God, lift him up for change. So when you learn the difference between power and how people can influence you to do something, because they're first, well, if I was you, you're not me. Okay? So that's one thing we got to understand about life. You know, we try to go to man to fix it when they don't know anything about God. And that's what's on my heart this morning, Raheem.
Good deal. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, asking the question, what is the difference? What is the difference between power and influence? What is the difference between power and influence, Cassandra?
Well, power, Willie gave the perfect definition of power. Someone has the ability to influence others or influence events, you know, because of who they are or whatever. And then influence, someone uses same thing basically. They use their strength or their speech or whatever it is to get people to behave in a certain way. So their power, of course, causes people to have influence. So that's the difference for me. Power, the person has the power to influence people and change behaviors and events. Can I use a quote? That's something that was said on yesterday.
Absolutely.
It was that I saw on print on yesterday. Y'all former president, whom I will not call his name, said that the best thing about being president was that he was able to make contact with all of these powerful people and wealthy people. So that sort of like threw me off, because the best part of the job of being president is that you were able to make contact with rich and powerful people.
Wow.
That's it. See, that's the danger of power. And I think it was Kurt that said power can corrupt.
Yes.
And absolute power corrupt. Man, this is like a board, a textbook example of what that looks like. That person. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yep. We know exactly what you're talking about. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
They call him Dump Trump.
Lord Jesus.
Dump Trump.
I'm
gonna say it again. You don't have to be intelligent, smart. You can be a complete idiot with influence and get things done, even if it's wrong.
Yep.
It can be just immoral, unethical. and you put yourself in a place, and you can. Let me just throw this one out here. You can be a witch with influence. Oh man, that made me think about the way that we conduct ourselves, and we call it God.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We call it God,
Mm-hmm.
and it's witchcraft, and it's witches and warlocks.
Good Lord.
Influencing people
Mm-hmm.
to bow down to something that they have no clue what they're doing. The blind leading the blind.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of people are in the ditch now.
Yes, sir.
In the name of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something? Oh, I took another turn. I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
All the witches and warlocks that they call themselves prophets and pastors and teachers and preachers.
Mm-hmm.
With influence. Because they got some churches, and I'm gonna just throw this out here, and I'm serious about this because they finding it out that what they do is there's people with finances. They have finances, and what they do is buy themselves a church and hire a preacher to just preach. But on the other hand, what they're doing is they're dope dealers.
Wow. Wow.
I ain't talking about nothing that somebody told me. I'm talking about what I know. Until the feds come in and lock the doors. I'll stop right there.
Wow. Toy, you with a T, talk to me, sis.
He said that, boy. He ain't never lied about that. More places than just the church. But no, see, that's that influence. Got a positive power, positive influence. You got negative power. You got negative influence. And I think the key, though, is to understand that we all have it. See, that's where I think we get thrown off at. Again, some of us feel like we're powerless and don't understand that we're not. And some of us allow people like Trump person to have all this power from people, and that's not what it is. The power still comes from us individually. We help give that to people, being influenced by them and their position. But we all have power and we don't acknowledge it. We all have influence. Like, we're putting that power into said presidency, but why not into our kids? You know what I'm saying? You're putting that power into said going to work, but why not put that power into constructing your own entrepreneurial way to live? You know what I'm saying? So again, I think that power and influence is something that we all have. We just don't acknowledge it like that. Again, this spell Tucson was talking about, that the wicked people, you got to be careful on Facebook. We get thrown up off of there, man. You can't say nothing. But the wicked people, cast these spells and things of that nature. And it's to make us think that someone is more powerful than you or me. They like to take it and say, well, the negative influence, the negative power, that's what wins. The negative power of sex, the negative power of whatever said influence is what wins. But we don't understand that it's actually us, because we are the power that they're achieving. We are the minds that they're seeking to try to influence to do what they want. And without us, they have no power.
Come on.
Without the influence or being able to influence, because I've already been influenced by my mom or my dad or my auntie. So therefore, outside influences don't interfere with me. So how can they have power if I have my own? And this is why we have this fight and this struggle in America, to keep us distracted, to keep us so-called down. This is why we have so-called visual influences to make us think that we're hoes and prostitutes and pimps. And the thought of you even saying that I'm a king or a queen, I get offended.
Wow.
Because we have allowed them. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. So finish your thought. You good?
No, yeah. Because we have allowed other individuals in this witch pot to make us think that we are nothing or no one. We don't equal or amount to no one. Prince Harry, didn't he say he not no prince no more? Right? He said he don't want to be a part of that no more, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're still gonna allow him to keep the power of being a prince even without his clothes off. Without he renounced it. I don't want that power. I don't want that fame. But it still doesn't take away the fact that he's a prince. But we won't let him not be a prince anymore. This is a real tricky dimension that we live in when it comes to power, and we just got to get on focus on who really holds it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother?
So my heart is, what's on my heart is, all too often we give those power who really don't deserve it and who ain't earned it. And what's more sad, from what I see, is if you paid attention, at one time, folks gave people power as a means to get ahead. We so confused. A lot of times, man, we so confused and thrown off now. We'll give somebody power that is clearly showing you that they don't give a rat's boot about you. They ain't gonna do nothing for you. They're not gonna do anything to help your cause, to help your situation. But yet, instead, we will give them the power to make decisions for us. I really don't understand it, brother. I just stay in my lane, keep my head low, and as long as it ain't no injustice done in front of my face, then I don't speak on it. But sometimes I just shake my head, man.
Exactly.
I just shake my head. When you look at what's going on right now, you see what's going on right now, man. I'm just gonna say it, man. America looks like the dumbest nation on the planet. We look like the dumbest, foulest, immoral thought nation on the planet, right? And we have allowed for one person to make us look like that.
Wow.
Single-handedly, he did that. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, this is hilarious. But you all have a wonderful day, man. I had let me say this real quick, Raheem. Thanks to everybody on the show, because I know you guys prayed for me.
Yes.
Throughout the weekend, and brother, the show was amazing.
Good deal. That's what I wanted to hear. Good deal.
Man, let me just say this: we got offered to go somewhere to bring those some.
Hey, Kurt, you're breaking up, brother. You're breaking up on us.
Huh?
Your phone is breaking up a little bit. You talking directly into it? It's breaking up just a tad bit. I heard you say y'all got a approach to go somewhere.
We got approach to go somewhere far from here. Basically, all I'm gonna say is it's looking like we're gonna return home.
Wow.
Fill in the blanks.
But I got you.
And where we'll be performing at when we go, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it past the first. I'm gonna need God, because there's no way in the world I'm gonna be able to make it past the first 5 words of the show without breaking.
Wow.
So I thank y'all for the prayers on behalf of the cast and crew of the meeting show by Jeff Stetson. I thank y'all.
Good deal. Appreciate you, brother. Rico, what's on your heart? Talk to me.
Man, I think the biggest thing about power is its energy. And that energy, man, is the energy that we give to I'm gonna say impose our will on things or to do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But see, we also have to understand the purpose of influence or influencers. And those influencers, well, first off, I look at influence as something like encouragement, persuasion, maybe cooperation. And the thing about that is honestly, it can't work without cooperation. So now this is where the influence or the influencer comes in to try to persuade you to cooperate, to use your energy, use your power and their motivation or whatever their agenda is.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have to understand what the whole purpose of influence is. I mean, we use these words and understand what they are, but I don't think deep down inside, because we're under a spell right now, that we really understand what we're saying when we're talking about power and influence.
Mm-hmm.
But see, people influence you for a reason. People use influence for everybody for a reason, and that is for you to have a choice, to persuade you, encourage you to use your energy, your power, either this way or either that way, for good or for bad. But it's one thing it's doing is showing you an option. See, I look at the devil, the way that the devil is talked about or perceived as being that influencer, that trickster. He doesn't force you, but he persuades you, he encourages, he tempts you, and gets you to sort of feel that, well, there's nothing wrong with being hedonistic.
Mm-hmm.
Just try it, just this one time. Just try it one time. It won't hurt nothing. Persuade you to try that. Use your power and your energy to go in and do his will. So like I said, I think we have to make sure we keep them both connected, but at the same time understand that one is a lot more mental.
Yeah.
And the other one is more physical. Because somebody can actually force you to do something you don't want to do. You don't cooperate. You don't agree with it. I mean, like I said, right now we have people who are innocent that are incarcerated right now. I guarantee you they ain't trying to be in there. They don't want to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
But what they going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't have the power. They don't have the authority to use their energy to get out. So they have to try to use their power and energy to do whatever it is they can do, which is put it towards finding ways to get out. But now if they spent their time and their energy in there taking booty or playing prison games, doing what, they got a whole different lifestyle up in there. They tell you it's totally different than what you would expect on the streets. If they are conforming to that lifestyle, what they call being institutionalized, then they're using their power and energy the wrong way. And believe me, there are forces inside the prison system that also influence you to make sure you continue to do things, to stay in there or to come back. It's about conforming and cooperating. What do you want to participate in, good or bad? What do you want to use your power and your energy towards?
Exactly.
Because if you're not careful, you'll be influenced by somebody that you perceive as powerful. And really and truly, they just another tool or puppet for somebody else that's using them to influence, like social media influencers. You got people right now that say when you ask them what they want to do when they grow up, they say they want to be social media influencers. Not doctors, not scientists, not inventors, not heart surgeons, not lifesavers. They want to be social media influencers because somebody found a way to make it valuable. And once they found a way to make it valuable, somebody said, well, okay, I want to participate in that. I'll cooperate. Since y'all say that it's making money, that it's valuable, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll be a social media influencer. So just think about how powerful that word is. Right now, it is actually a way or an option to survive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're about to switch over to our next topic. Let me go to Cassandra and Willa before we move on. Let's go to Cassandra first. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I'm good.
Okay.
From what I've heard, there's been some great explanations about power and influence, and I'm good.
Good deal. Willa?
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, ma'am.
Rico made such a powerful statement because do you know that our mind is the most important thing about ourselves? But here goes the distraction: alcohol, reefer, drugs, enticing men, enticing women. All of those are distractions, but our mind is so important because you think about this. Think about this. You on the road, and there's a big semi truck. Now he has the power to pull you over, but he doesn't have the authority.
Mm-hmm.
A policeman has the authority, but he doesn't have the power because people break laws every day. So you just think about it in that direction. That semi truck is so big that if it wanted to pull you over, it could. It has the power, but it doesn't have that influence of that authority where it really could pull you over. You got what I'm saying right here?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Anybody have anything else they want to say on this topic before we move on to our next one? Do we move on to our topic of the
No,
day?
we got to throw this part out there.
Huh?
You know, all this time we was talking about power. We never talked about the power that God gave us. How about the power of love? Do y'all know what it do? Luther Vandross sang about it.
It's the power of love.
That's right. That's right. The spell of America got us in. We only thinking about power in different ways, but we got more power, like I said earlier, than what we believe in. What power did God give us? Did any of us know that? Because there's a verse in the Bible that tells. There's multiple verses in the Bible that tells us about the power that God gave us to heal, to create, to love, to have knowledge. All those things people can't take away from you. The gift of miracles, prophecy, discernment of spirits. We got gifts that we didn't even talk about, supernatural gifts that we didn't talk about, and we all stuck on this American spell. That they use these same components on a spiritual level to keep us controlled. And we're only talking about the surface. We got to get back into tune to who we are and find out our power is. And this whole spell that the United States uses will be broken.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Gonna switch over to our topic of the day. Our topic of the day today, and this topic is a little different. We started out talking about sports. We started off this morning talking about sports with the situation with the coach of Boston Celtics, and we talked about a lot of different things concerning sports. But I'm gonna bring it back to sports right now. And ladies, it's not gonna be a sports conversation, so I don't want y'all to think we're gonna get on here as men and just talk about sports. And even though y'all do know about sports, but I'm asking a question. Curtis, coming to you first. Curtis, you back with us?
Yeah.
Okay. Curtis, you know that in sports, when you're playing, you have different you have different things that go in your favor. One of the things that goes in a lot of people's favor is when they play at home. When they play at home and don't have to go out and travel and go different places, because on the road it could be hostile. It could be very hostile on the road. So one of the advantages is playing on your own field, on your own home court, or whatever the sport is. So I'm asking this question, Curtis, because there's certain advantages when you play on your own court. Where is the black man's home field advantage?
Man.
Oh, Kurt, yeah, he was talking, and his phone got disconnected. So hopefully that brother he gonna call back in. Cause I heard him say man a couple of times. So I know he's about to go into something. But Toussaint, pick it up. There, I think that's him right there. There you go, Curtis. Where is the black man's home field advantage? Curtis, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Man, I'm trying to process your question. Oh man, where is the black man's home field advantage?
You know what it means to have home field advantage. You know what all that the whole thing is concerned about that. You know what that means. So where is the black man's home field advantage?
The black man's home field advantage is wherever he created to be.
Is that true?
Once again, because see, a lot of people would think when you say home field advantage,
Let me throw this out there. A lot of times when you say home field advantage, it's like in regards to football, even basketball, whatever it is, certain calls go to the home team. Certain, well, hey, it's home field advantage, man. That's what it is. You get the calls because you're at home. So you get that home field advantage. So where is the black man's home field advantage? Where is it that he get the calls in his favor? Or different things in regards to home field advantage? Talk to me, Curtis.
Honestly, man, I'm drawing a blank. The
Wow.
only thing I can say is it's wherever he wants to be. There's power in being an African American man.
Mm-hmm.
There's truly power, and
even with that comment, that you just made, Curtis, and help me understand this, brother. And I know it's been said a long time, but how many other nationalities, racist nationalities, or whatever you want to call it, put those two things together? African American. I've never heard them say European American or Chinese American. I've never seen that. Why us? We're the only one that has that.
It's to make us always sound like other. Like we're other.
So again,
go ahead.
Go.
Said the terminology. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I hate it because when I was overseas, every time I've been around the world, if you sit back and you listen to what's going on, or you having a conversation with other nationalities, and you'll hear them say, if they talking about the Caucasian American brother, they'll say the American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if they're talking about a black brother, they'll say the African American.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
it always seems like we're other.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, to answer your question, man, I draw a blank.
Wow.
I really do. I draw a blank. I can't even say it's the church.
Wow.
For the people we got on here, sanctuary for our people is in the institutions for which they exist.
Mm-hmm.
But the only other place I can tell you is in the heart.
Wow. There's so many different alleyways that with and wow. This is something. Toussaint, what do you say to that, man? Where's the black man's home field advantage?
Mindset.
See, and that's amazing to me, because when you say mindset, you're saying that our home field advantage is a mindset, or basically in our minds, and you can certainly correct me, but everybody else have a physical place. Everybody else have a physical place.
Well, I have that too.
Okay, talk to me.
I have that too.
Mm-hmm.
I got a place, and I choose. That's my choice.
Mm-hmm.
I can be either the head or the tail, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the way I think. I walk in the room, I can walk around like I'm a puppet, or I can take control.
Mm-hmm.
I can have somebody run over me, or I can stand and look a man in the eye and let him know I'm just like you.
Okay, but
we on level playing field.
When we're talking in regards to home field advantage, though, where's his home field advantage?
That's just me, the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
See, because you look at how. Okay, let me just. Well, okay. Suppose that's a difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
What I was about to think about, but okay, if for instance, if I'm in a setting and I start. I was gonna say it, and I changed my mind, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Okay, I get pulled over by the police.
Mm-hmm.
Man, why you pull me over? I got problems.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have problems. You got some that had problems, like they did the right thing and they still kill them. But I was just using that for example, but because now we got this thing that the first thing you do is automatically assume that they're doing you wrong because you are that. And you cause more problem for your own self sometimes. So if you pull me over, the thing about it is, evidently you want to give me a ticket. Okay. You said I know I was going 55. You said I was going 75. Okay. All right. Here's my license. Here's my registration. Here's my insurance card. There you go. I ain't gonna say a word. Not a word. Give me my ticket and let me go on. I ain't gonna argue with you because that's what the courts are for. It's a mindset. That's why I'm saying that's my level playing field. If I get out there and, man, you tripping, you pulling me over, you doing that because I'm black. Now you didn't cause your own self some problems when you didn't have
to. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
I got you. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, where's the black man's home field advantage? Cassandra?
Yeah, Raheem. I think anywhere that he is, he has a home field advantage. If it's a black man that knows who he is, because we are so, our men are so amazing, and they are to me the strongest men on the planet, because they have overcome so many obstacles and still continue to overcome so many obstacles and excel in so many different areas. But I think the main thing is that a lot of black men don't realize who they are. Or they drank the Kool-Aid, as Rico says, when it comes to who they are. And they believe what somebody else says that they are more than knowing who they are for themselves. Our society says that there are certain things. The government says that there are certain things. But I'll leave it right here. I want to be, and I think that every black man should be whoever their God is, whatever their creator, whoever you want to, whatever your name is, you need to be whoever that person says that you are. That's just my belief.
Wow. Willow, what's on your heart?
You use the Kings as an example of home field advantage. Well, the White Sox certainly ain't an example of that. They done lost 6 straight at home. But I just said anyway.
Lord.
So you certainly can't use them as an example. But anyway, when you think about home field advantage, when you think about that, I think about knowledge. Nobody knows your home better than you do. So to me, that means knowledge. That means that how much knowledge have I obtained in this world as a black man that I would be able to go anywhere in this world and still have the home field advantage. Because if I'm at home, I know places that you don't know. I know things where I can go that you don't know. See, that's the advantage. And that's the knowledge that a black man would obtain. Because the more knowledge that you obtain gives you, you become more powerful with knowledge. Because that's the key to life itself. The Bible says that we perish because of lack of knowledge. So to me, that's the home field advantage, because I would know more about being at my home than the next person. And that's what's on my mind right here.
Good deal.
In my heart.
Good deal. Toya, what did he talk to me, sis? What is a black man's home field advantage? Where's his home field advantage? Toya?
I'm sorry. You said, where is a black man's home field advantage?
Yes.
Anywhere he walk. Anywhere he walk. Now, that's what I believe, because I was raised by a black man. You hear me? Raised by one. And he had a flaw. But it ain't no doubt in my mind that I know what black men are capable of. That's why I be disappointed when they come to anything short than what like my daddy was. Heck, I got dominion to go wherever I want to go too. But it's something different about this. Sorry, white people, I got to go here. Something different about this black man. You know, the one I'm talking about that endured whooping and still went out there and picked cotton? The one that come from the lineage of people who saw his people slaughtered and murdered and had to keep going? The one that come from the lineage of the ones when they was forced to have sex with their own folks, their own blood, and had to still remain a man after that? The one that everybody wants to make their slave? He can go anywhere he wants to, as long as he remember who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Long as he know that he doesn't have to confine to them, even if it means killing all of them and don't leave nothing left, not even an animal. You better do what God say, and they need to know who they are. Because I know I was raised by one, and a real thorough one at that. And my belief, I don't know if they believe it, and I don't care nothing about no doctor, psychiatrists, psychologists. I don't care nothing about none of that. I believe in my heart, from the black man that raised me, not only can he go where he want to do and go where he want to go and have a home field advantage, but he has the power, influence, and sexiness to get everybody to cater to him if they knew their power. Don't get me started on the black man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem, and the Morning Glow family.
Asking a question. We talking, making reference to like sports when our teams are playing, and one team have home field advantage, so they get out pretty much all the calls because they have home field advantage. They got their own crowd there, in comparison to when they go to another person's place of play, wherever they play, or whatever it can be, a field or court or whatever it is, and they have a very hostile environment. Asking the question: where's the black man's home field advantage?
I don't know. I don't know too much about where everybody else's is,
Mm-hmm.
but it should be wherever you at.
Mm-hmm. Explain that.
You know, because some people say things, you know, and then you know how some people will say one thing, and then there's 2 or 3 sentences behind it because they're trying to communicate a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was just to assume, it is wherever you want it to be, wherever you lay your hat.
Papa
make
was
it
a
what you want it
rolling
to
stone. Well, wherever he laid his hat.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, of course, as we always talk, me and you have this issue with that adjective, black.
Mm-hmm. It's a reality, brother.
I do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm free. I've learned that I can't speak for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what other people's concept may be like, or why they may feel like they don't have any advantages. But I know I don't subscribe to that type of thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that so many people do. Because once you start believing you ain't got nowhere to be, you ain't nothing, and you ain't nobody, that's what you will become.
And I don't think this conversation is based on that, Leonard. I think this conversation is more on dealing with the home field advantage of not that he's less than or think that he's less than or putting himself in a less than mindset. We talk about the reality is where is it that he can go and have that quote unquote advantage of a home field advantage. It's not that he's less than or he feels less than. That's not. I don't think that's where we're going with it. That's not where I'm going with it. But my thing is where's his home field advantage? Okay.
So,
no.
You know, some people have this romance of being slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't believe that they are free.
Mm-hmm.
So their actions are not free. They don't speak freely.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, that person may have a completely different concept. He may feel like he never has a home.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, that is because he hasn't created a home.
See, that's a person, and see, that's a little difficult. That's a person, I think, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a person that has that defeated attitude or that defeated mindset. That's not what we're talking about. If a person have that defeated mindset, you know, is to me, it's very difficult for them ever to win because they're walking into the fight thinking they lost already.
I have respect for my brothers who are truly homeless.
Mm-hmm.
those people are actually homeless.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I consider homeless. Those people who don't have anything, who don't have a place to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't deal with the people who construct in their mind that they somehow homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Homelessness is not a mind situation unless you make it that way.
Got you. Got you. Let me go to Pete. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good this morning, DKM Radio, Morning Glow, panel listening audience. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, doing good. We're making a reference based on the sports, and in sports, people have the home field advantage, and they get most of the calls. They got their own crowd there. They sleep in their own bed last night. They ain't got to worry about traveling to hotels and all that stuff. It's a more peaceful environment comparison to when they go on the road and there's a hostile environment. They got to travel. They got to do everything that goes along with being on the road. Asking a question, Pete, and I want to hear your heart on this, brother. Where is the black man's home field advantage?
First of all, I understand what you mean, but I have to constantly start giving out clarity because we got to change some things. Ain't no black man living nowhere on planet Earth. So we want to understand that. But in reference to the melanated man, his home is at home internally within himself and his inner being as a being. What you call fortitude, the knowledge of self, self-determination, and a determined heart, mind, and spirit to maximize your intellectual properties and your physical abilities, and not entertain or observe internally any hindrance to you peaking at your full potential.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Willa, what's on your heart, sis?
You know, when you talk about the black man, he can be resilient if that's what he wants to do. And then again, he can be influential, should I say. He can have power. He can have any of that. His home field advantage is just like everybody says, where he wants it to be. Because of the fact that, like I said earlier, and it doesn't change, it gives you the advantage when you know more than somewhat the next person, but not that you know everything, because nobody knows everything. But advantages, to me, when you say advantage, that means that I got something, that I obtained something more than the next person. So when he wants to obtain that, he can get that. Because certainly we excel in all of it, should I say. Whatever we wanted, we can. But then there are a lot of distractions.
Wow.
That's what's on my heart right here. That is what's on my heart.
Cassandra, what do you say to a little boy, a little black boy that come to you and he say, and he tears in his little eyes, and he say, I've seen the stuff that my dad and my uncles and all them people had to go through, and how bad they've been treated here. Where is our auntie? Where is our home field advantage? Where's my home field advantage? Cassandra, what do you say to him?
It's within himself, because he can achieve and do whatever it doesn't matter what is happening around him. You have to continue to say, we have to say things until it changes. And we are a part of that change. So I will let him know that I am continuing to fight. There are others that are continuing to fight, so that he has every advantage that any other child would have to do and to be whatever it is that he wants. That's the only thing that we can do. We have to be the change for our children, our grandchildren. It's up to us.
Wow.
It's up to us. But I will continue to affirm that you can do and be anything, and then I will work toward making that happen.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Toussaint, what do you say? One of your grandsons come to you in that same situation, and he asks you that question, little tears in his little eyes. Toussaint, he's crying, man. and he asks you, he say, man, I don't see it. People, Papa, or whatever they call you, where is my home field advantage? Tucson, what do you say to your grandson?
Yeah, same thing I say with my son. You got everything you need to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. All you got. This is what I tell my son. If you be the good you're gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
You everything you need. We've put into you.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is do you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll support you in everything you want to do, but just be a good you. That's what I tell my son.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. And I remind them every time I get a chance, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I tell you what I did with, and I like to say what I did with my oldest son. I took his clothes out of the drawer and the closet, and I said, "Be a good you, and you're gonna make it."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Now that might have been hard, but he had everything that he needed. He's a game changer. We're game changers. We don't need a playing field, a home playing field. We make our own field. We plant the grass.
Good.
I'm just saying.
That's
everywhere
good.
if we get the right mindset, a positive outlook on life, you don't have to pick no cotton, make a cotton gin.
Mm-hmm.
Quit running into each other at the traffic crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Make a red light. We're game changers.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it over and over and over and over again. And all people do, we do, is just be good at what we do. I remember when our parents, and I'll shut up, our parents used to say, if you whine, or I don't know how they say it, but they used to say, if you're going to be a ditch digger, be a good one.
Yeah, be the best. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just be the best ditch digger.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's what they did. And so they changed the game. Sure, they moved the game goalposts, but that's okay. Just be better than anybody on the field, and you're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
What I do to mine.
Toya with a T, how do you express yourself to this little young person that's coming to you in that way, with these tears in his eyes, crying? See, I've seen the situation my dad, my granddaddy, my uncles have to go through. Even my older brothers, they go through these situations. Auntie, where's my home field advantage? Where can I get ahead? Toya with a T, what do you say to him?
Well, my statement remains the same wherever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It's things to being the best. Do you just want the home field advantage, or do you want to be the best at this game? Which one do you want? Home field advantage is still something that's making it easier for you.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, you a man. Some things you got to take. Sometimes you don't give people a question. You a game changer, like you just said. So whatever it is, you need to focus on being the best at it. What is it something you can do? Don't listen to what they say you can't. You look for every reason to show them that you can. If it's about sports, you better study the best of the best opponent. And when he moves, you move. You better be a shadow on him. Now, the only way you're not going to get there is if you tell yourself you're not. But if you make up in your mind that you're going way beyond a home field advantage, you need to be the best and dominate this game and every other, you better be willing to put in the blood, sweat, tears, and anything it takes to be the best, because winning is more than just having a home field advantage.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Rico, what do you say to that, brother? Where's the black man's home field advantage?
It's in his head, man. It's in his understanding and logic of knowing who he is. Truly who he is. It's in his mental strength and mental sanity and logic. We have to have physical strength too. But even when you don't have physical strength, if you have some logical mental strength, some sane
logical thought processes, then you can still make it. You know, George Washington Carver, he was castrated. I was gonna say it in the slang way. He was castrated when he was young. He was adopted and raised by a white family in Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. He was somewhere out there where you don't find too many black people. So he was like one of the, not the only black person in his school and his, you know, community or whatever. And the people that had him castrated, they did that because they didn't want him to grow up having sexual urges towards the little white girl. But that still didn't stop him from knowing who he was in this universe, mentally, his strength. So he was able to connect to the reality of things more than the average person could. He can create and invent. You know, if I'm not mistaken, they say he invented the first, not the first car, but invented the car that Ford is making billions off of today. He came up with the things for the soybean. He did the thing with peanut butter. You know, he said he could talk to plants. He explained the system of how plants work, you know, beyond what science had already done. So, I mean, you know, he was mentally strong. He had a better understanding of what life was really about. And so, you know, that mental strength of us as black men having that home field advantage, you know what I'm saying? It comes from our mental strength, not only our physical strength, but definitely our physical strength, mental strength, because we could be physically strong and dumb as a box of rocks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But if you are strong mentally in your conscience and in your heart and in your thought process, yeah, that's where your home field advantage is, because regardless of where you are, you can never be broken when you're mentally strong.
That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? This is good. This is good, y'all. I'm loving this.
I think I like to go all the way back to what, you know, Cassandra said on what we committed to and what she's committed to. Is anybody trying to move forward? You know, that whole notion of home this and home that. Where did you make your home at? What do you consider home? Where do you come from? You know, there's nothing, I ain't gonna say it's disheartening, but it would be a shame to have lived 50 years and claim not to know who I am.
Wow, that's good.
Okay. I would, if someone is in that situation, sit down and think about it. You are the decisions and everything you've made and everything you've been through up to this point, good or bad. What do you want to do next? That's more important than anything. What do you want your home to be? That's the better question. What do you want it to be? You mentioned something about a young kid. You tell him exactly that. What do you want? What do you want? Most people that ain't doing nothing, if you talk to them, guess what? All they do is complain. All they do is complain. They never talk about what they have contributed. This ain't right. So if things don't get better, you're saying you'll never do better.
Wow.
Not understanding that once you start doing better, that's how things get better. So looking for somebody else to provide it for you, especially a man. You're supposed to establish things. So you have to do the best you can to do that. Ain't nobody gonna fault you for doing the best that you can. But you can't sit around and, like, you know, say, for instance, with the question, black man, how would I possibly know what every black man wants or is capable of? It's impossible.
Don't you think that there's certain things that every person want, there's certain elements that every person want, love, be I guess successful and the well-being of their family and the safety and stuff like that. There's certain things that everybody want, and there are certain differences that they want as well, but there's certain things that everybody does want, the best for their families and stuff like that.
Now, where, because I'm the type of person that believe in the uniqueness of every person and every human being, it is to you to choose your own destiny.
That's good. That's good. Okay, good deal. I'm gonna go in this order right here. We're gonna go Cassandra, Pete, and then Willa. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, you there? Cassandra may have stepped away from.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No,
So I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm driving and I'm trying to go in and out on the phone. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is my bottom line, and this is what I will continue to say as long as we're on this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It is totally our mindset that will make or break us every time,
Mm-hmm.
because we know the opposition that our men have, that black men have. We know the struggle, what they have to go through. That's so much different from everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Right? We know that already. So then, instead of letting that be a tool for your downfall, why not use it as a stepping stone for moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about your mentality, how you think about it, what you want to do, because can't should not be in your vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they may hold you back, but if they're holding you back, then start your own company.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Toya talks about that a lot. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do.
Yeah.
If they won't let you do it, find a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where innovation and ideas come in. So I still say it's all in your mind. That's what it's going to have to be.
Mm-hmm.
It begins in your mind.
That's good. And I'm glad you said that, because I was going to go there about, opposition and stuff like that, and people trying to hold you back, and it's been going on forever. They forever try to hold us back and hold us down, but we can't let that be a stumbling block in what we're trying to do or what we're trying to obtain for ourselves, our family, and our community. So I'm glad you went there. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
The knowledge of self, knowing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
knowing your heart, mind, spirit, your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding your value, your worth, your purpose, knowing your history, your heritage, your culture, pulling on the strengths of your great who had to endure greater than whatever you talking about now. And he existed, and his lineage is you. So you can pull on the strength of your ancestors, knowing the knowledge of self, and understand that you are the one. You are endowed with it all. Nothing's holding you back but you. There's no such thing as an excuse unless you're making it.
Come on.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no outside hindrance to nothing. That's what self-determination is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a mindset, a heart, and a spirit made up in the full knowledge of itself in truth, not in fallacy or fiction. In truth.
Come on.
Will give you a fortitude that you will move forward and accomplish all that you can conceive. And that's exactly where we are right now today. And that's exactly who we are today. Accomplish all that you will. You mighty God-blessed, first created, descended people who covered this whole ball before anybody else and did everything. And everything is in you right now. Love yourself, know yourself, be yourself, do for yourself. Before you do it for anyone else, do it for you, and do it to your absolute best. You're absolutely right. Whatever you do, be the best at it. Whatever it is, you be the best at it. Don't you see us doing that now?
Come on.
Know thyself, love thyself, forward strong, yield nothing, seize the ground, secure it, build on it, advance, don't look back, don't offer up no explanations, and there are no excuses.
That's good. Willa, Donna, and Toyo. That's the order. Toyo with a T. That's the order we're going in. Willa, what's on your heart, sis?
Man, after that, ain't too much more to say.
Come on.
Build you up. It built me up right there. But I just want to share the story. I forgot. Somebody had told me about this NFL player who had went to go for a tryout. And, just a regular football tryout at some college or somewhere. Anyway, so he went, and then after he got through trying out, the man or the coach told him, well, you pretty good, but, you just got to keep going at it because, I don't know if you get in because it's really hard to get in that field. And then when it was all over, he told that man who he was, all that man could do is just drop his face. I forgot my son's dad just told me about that story. But that's you cannot let people steal your vision for what you want to do in life. They always want to do that because maybe they're not where they are and they want to keep you down where they are. So you have to keep that self-preservation to push forward because sometimes people don't want you to leave them because they don't want to be by themselves. So that's my encouragement, Raheem, to keep pushing on regardless what people say. Don't give them the power over your life. And that's what's on my heart, Raheem.
Good deal, good deal, good deal. Toussaint, talk to me, and Toya with a T coming to you next. Toussaint, you there?
Yeah, man. I'm here. Yeah, I mean, I think we about covered. I don't know. I think, you know, like I say, I tell you all you gotta do is walk in the room and make a change. Don't let nobody. Don't be a follower. Be a leader.
How do you change the atmosphere of that room if the room is negative?
Be you. I do. I mean, I ignore negativeness. I address it, and the person that I address it to, sometimes they don't even know how to already address that. Because you so much about yourself that I'm gonna have to ignore you, work around you, and you don't have a clue. You still got your own agenda. I do it all the time, every day. There's some people, they want to stop progress, so they have their own agenda. So what I do is I suggest to them, this is what we're going to do, because you're not listening. So I'm just suggesting, this is how we're going to get this done. So you're doing something else because you're trying to stop it. I'll work around you. Yeah. You're not going to change nothing. Negativeness, I don't entertain that. Resist the devil and he'll flee. He don't have to run. He just get away from me.
Get.
I ain't studying it.
Get.
Yeah, do what you do. We know what he's going to do. We know what the enemy does. He come to steal, kill, and destroy. But you resist him, and he has no control over what you do. He got to ask permission to bother me.
Yeah.
Because I belong to the king.
Come on.
What power what authority does he have over me, over my life?
That's good.
It's a mindset.
Exactly. That's good. Toya, no, finish your thought, brother.
No, that's just basically how I live. And I tell my children, my grandchildren, that's how you live. That's how we do. I didn't try to tell people that, you know, I see a young man hanging out on the street. I'm not down on him. That's what he do. But put something positive. Don't give him the negative. Well, don't approach that man like that. Approach him with respect.
Yeah. That's good.
Like put him on the same playing field that I'm on. Not saying that I'm anywhere, but I know where I'm trying to get. So I bring him along with me.
That's good.
If he want to come. Now, I can't make anybody do anything, but I could suggest. I mean, he might have a joint in his hand, some weed. He might be smoking. And hey man, what's going on, brother? That's how I approach him.
Yeah.
That's how I approach him. Really, I really do.
It's like it's like Willa said earlier. You know, Willa went way on back. She said, "My house some." She said something about some reefer. I said, "Man, I ain't heard that one in a long time."
Marijuana.
She said reefer. Yeah, she said some reefer.
Sesame.
She said might have some reefer in their hand or some alcohol or something like that. I said reefer. I said, "Oh Lord." But let me go. We're gonna go to our Toya and then Rico. Then we got a couple of calls just called in. I'm going to the callers as well. So Toya, will the T talk to me, sis? What's on your heart?
Yeah, no, well, you know, it's all about the dominion. We don't understand that. It's up to us to teach each other that,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's life. You know, let's not be biased and say that it's all about a black man thing. It's about a black woman thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we just specifically talking about black white people. We're not denying that white men don't have their own, black white women don't have their own. We're talking about white right now.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're conditioned in this world, right? You're not even a human. You're 3/5 of a human.
Mm.
Oh, the only thing you're good at is this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the third. Those are influences and
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
that we don't acknowledge, and it helps make us who we are. That's why it's important for us to know who truly we are. You know what I mean? And that's what comes from, supposedly supposed to come from, you know, the people around you. You know, having that influence. But when you're coming from a place to where everyone feels powerless, oh, it ain't nothing we can do because white folks said. Somewhere in there was men and women who said, this don't sound right. This ain't right. I got to do something about it. I just can't stay here and be no slave. I can't just stay here and just continue to watch this happen. And we got people like Mary McLeod Bethune and Harriet Tubman and Nat Turner. Because they decided to be different than what the world was telling them to be. We have to be real careful because that's the fight. You know, that's the fight of the devil. For him to make you understand and make you think you are not a child of God and you smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no child of God, you drinking. You ain't never going to be able to take care of your family. Black men, white men hate you. The whole world hates you. They said you can't do nothing. And when you get that in your spirit, how does it act? When you change your room, I hate to have to use this analogy, right? But it's like, you know how when a dog knows you scared, it's an energy you're giving off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they say, you better not show that dog you scared, because if you do, he gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same kind of energy when you walk into the room. Oh, woe is me. Nobody cares. You know what the biggest thing we do? We allow the world to tell us what we ain't. Some of us might have had some family members, mamas, daddies, real close to us tell us what we ain't. And then we wake up and use our same breath to tell our own selves what we ain't. I ain't pretty. I ain't this. I ain't that.
Wow.
Well, the whole world against you plus you too. I bet you ain't.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
It's very important that we know who we are and how valuable. They did a study to see how much a human body would cost. Anybody heard about that?
Mm-mm. I ain't heard that.
Molecules, enzymes, cells, all of that. You know where they get the $6 million man from? Because if you was to pick apart a human being, that was back then. I don't think about now. I don't think they talk about black market value. But right now they say a human being, one by itself, no education, no nothing, just the flesh and everything that makes it come on. It's $6 million. That right there should make you understand you're something.
Mm-hmm.
Just that, just the value of just your body without thinking of nothing.
Wow.
And then when you get exposed to your Father being the Most High, no matter where you come from or what you did, we're talking about the Most High, the one who split seas and created everything. That means you're an heir of that. We don't pay attention to our value, and we allow other people's powers and influences to overbear ours. And this is where the confusion comes at. That's what the enemy wants. You to think you have no value. You to think you cannot change the world. You to think that you don't have no power to do anything but what they do. But you better know what thus saith the Lord.
Come on. Good deal. Good deal. Toy, you on the road this morning. You on the road, sis. Rico, talk to me, brother.
You know, that's why sometimes it could be so intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That confidence that comes with the home field advantage. You know, you was talking earlier about power, and see, that's the thing that comes with the home field advantage too. A lot of times you have the power to control the atmosphere, control the conditions, control the environment. When you got that home field advantage, then that means the ball is in your court. I mean, if you want to turn the lights off or if you want to lower the rims, you know what I'm saying, and ain't nobody got the laws or nothing for you to abide by, then people got to play by your rules.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the true reality of it. So I think the home field advantage for the black man is in you know, understanding the reality of who he is and the power that he has.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know, I hate the 5'8", but I walk in the room, I feel like I'm 10 feet tall. I don't care if you're worth $1 billion. You're just a man to me.
Exactly.
I don't care what your education is. I don't care what you done accomplished in life. You're gonna respect me the same way I respect you. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate and I respect accomplishment, but my reality is, and the true nature of everything is look. You bleed like I bleed. You're gonna die like I die. You're gonna leave here one day. You put on your pants. I don't think they came up with an invention yet for rich people or people with influence or favor to be able to wake up in the morning and just jump up in the air and land in a whole outfit at the same, with both legs at the same time, shirt, pants, everything.
If it is, that's a
Everybody
nasty.
got to go through that process.
If it is,
one
that's
shock at a time, one shoe at a time, one leg at a time.
I'm gonna tell you something, Rico, and if they do invent something like that, that's gonna be a nasty rascal. He or she ain't watching nothing. You just walk around here just stinking. You just stinking. You're just stinking.
I mean, even if you're walking, you got to take two steps at a time. So the power and the home field advantages, and once again, us knowing exactly just how much power we have. I mean, Toya just broke down the economic value, the system that they created. They put a number on it. They came up with a system of value, and now they done told you what that value is. But guess what? I'm worth more than that. My reality is, my home field advantage is that I don't even let that persuade or influence me. That thought process.
Exactly.
You know, just think about it right now. Right now, we talking about home field advantage, and we still are participating in and conforming to a paper with numbers on it.
Piece of paper.
That's the way of our survival. That's the way we got to get it. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't understand your home field advantage and understand the power that you have, you will let that control you instead of you controlling it.
Exactly. We got a few more minutes before we get out of here. We got a couple of people that called in on the phone lines. The next caller, I think, is either VP or we got Friday. Who we got with us this morning?
You messed around and looked up and got us both.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
We doing all right.
I'm gonna throw the question out there. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. I said, like that. Because I don't get both of them on here often. It wasn't a scream, it was there's a difference. But listen, I'm just silly. I'm gonna throw the question out there, man, and y'all can answer it. Either one of y'all can answer it. But what is, we thinking about sports along the lines of sports? What is the home field? What is the black man's home field advantage? Where is it that he get in home field advantage? A lot of time you get all the calls and different things of that nature. Where is it that the black man have home field advantage? Where is that at? Either one of you can answer. Oh, now neither one of y'all want to answer.
So no, I was just seeing if he wanted to go first. But home field advantage for a black man, I would say, is home. Ideally, with a counterpart who understands them, their plight, their heritage, their background, right? So I would say their home field advantage is their home. My mind immediately goes to, I think it's either 1st or 2nd Peter, but talks about in terms of being able to be a leader out in other positions. You got to first be able to be a leader at home. So they have to, I would say, be able to identify with themselves. That actually Vel, in a panel discussion over the weekend, stated, like, I am made me, so I am. So I am that spouse, I am that husband, or that father, that brother. So identifying who you are and getting in alignment, and then that way you can create your home. And then once you place other people within that, whom you pick as a wife, the man finds a wife, right? How you have established to raise your household, then that way now your home is your sanctuary, and then that's where you have the home field advantage. That's where you're going to get your strength. That's where you're going to get your motivation from, or should. Anyways, then that you can tackle those things outside of the home with the level of air and confidence that you need to remember who you are. You want to say anything, Val?
So you're saying the home field advantage is your actual physical home, where you lay your head, basically.
Right.
Okay.
Because you recharge there. You have, and if you're aware of and in tune of who you are, then you're finding the comparable wife, or spouse.
Now, let me hold on. Let me throw this out there.
What if you're homeless?
What somewhere I read where it said that even in the home, sometimes the man would feel better with sleeping on the rooftop than with the woman that make the home unbearable. And so,
if the woman makes the home unbearable and nagging, yes,
mm-hmm.
that is true. So, but again, we can't bypass what I said in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's finding a wife and he's identified at that time that he's ready to secure that spouse and who he is, then he'll find one that's not going to do that. If you just getting random just to check the box and say you got a wife, or you just not having any standards,
mm-hmm.
then you might end up with a nagging one, and you would be better off on a rooftop than a quarrelsome wife.
So does that change? Does that change your answer?
It doesn't.
I don't know if my home field advantage can be having to sleep on the rooftop. I don't know if that works. But let me go to VP, and then after that, I got out Joseph with this as well, and then we're gonna go to Leonard. VP, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say?
Well, I think the easy answer is to say the home, but when you think of a man, and I think of home field advantage, I'm thinking of where I have the biggest. Like, I know my court, I know my field.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd is cheering for me. It's almost like the marketplace, or your job, or your profession is good home field advantage for a black male or male in particular. Like when I go to work, I know, like, using the house scenario, it sounds good on the fairy tale level, but usually not the king in the house as much as people want to put it.
Mm-hmm.
But
brother,
when you go to work,
brother, did you say on the fairy? Did you say on the fairy tale level?
Huh?
Did you say on the fairy tale level?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard you right. Okay, go ahead.
People that make happily, you'll have the happily ever after, but there's no twinkles in the stars all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to work, or like when you show up to that radio show, this is your home. This is your home field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know everything that's coming to you is in a positive manner for the most part. You might have some people that's gonna challenge you on your field, but for the most part, that's you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what embodies who you are every day. Sometimes when you go to work, or you find that purpose in life, your home, that becomes a home field for the black male. So if it's out here, like Rico's thing is more of finding information and giving it to people, that's his home field. Ain't nobody really gonna test him as hard if you don't really know what that knowledge is.
Mm-hmm.
That's something he's comfortable with. Like me, mine is service based. I like being in the service. I like doing service based things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel at home there. I feel like there's not a person that if you would come up to me competition wise, you could get on a level with me at.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, I'm gonna get better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Good. Go ahead, brother. Finish your thought.
No. I was just thinking, because I was thinking when you're thinking of house or home, I'm thinking more like sanctuary. I ain't thinking like
the physical
a place to be cheered on, or a place that I feel like I'm going to get an advantage at.
Okay, good deal. Joseph, what's on your heart, brother? Where's the black man's home field advantage?
Man, y'all got my wheels turning, boy. Toya, she dropped pounds of wisdom.
Man.
Rico came behind.
Man, look here.
Man, y'all got me thinking critically about things. I look at Herschel Walker. His home field advantage was when he was playing the sport, the game. He had command of the game. Now, moving into another area, or trying to go into another area, he's now exposing his weakness because he's being fed talking points. Now, if you compare him to Paul Robeson, who also played sport, who also sang and went into theater, and then eventually became an activist and a leader of his people. And he was very thoughtful about
the history of our people and the challenges facing us, then I think he gained the home field advantage by being true to himself and to what his people were calling for.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a demand that the people placed on him. It was being true to his own integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think whenever you're true to your integrity, when you have integrity, and when you continue to grow and try to learn as Malcolm X did, try to gain more understanding, and try to be fair with the human question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do I live in community? How do I live among other human beings and be myself? I mean, my whole purpose. Then I think you got the home field advantage. And when I said be yourself, I mean being true to universally to what the man is. You know, we're like all other men that are running countries. That's who we are. We run countries. We preside over the good for, you know, all of our people, or we work with those who are committed to the good for all. I think that's the home field advantage. When you talk like men, not like boys, you know, when we on the stage, on the world stage or wherever we at, we sound like intelligent men, not slaves, not colonized people, none of that. We are free, liberated, intelligent people.
Wow. That's
good.
Home
field advantage.
That's good. That's good. Gonna go Leonard, Pete, and Cassandra. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I love what Brother Wheeler just was talking about. It's about what you bring, what you put forth. And, you know, you go from different stages. One thing, and I love that he brought up Paul Robeson, who was one of my favorites. And, you know, I remember Paul Robeson being introduced to me as a child, as an example of what you can do. You can do, and then when you look at those great examples of Black men who were actually in the forefront, where one, pure hell was given to them. But a lot of these brothers were excellent at what they actually did. They didn't downplay themselves one bit. They were excellent despite everything around them, despite everything that happened to them. They found a way to excellence at what it is they wanted to do. So it's mighty sad when you remove physical obstacles, but then you still doing the job on yourself in your own mind.
Wow.
I mean, it's to the point where I'm so disciplined in the fact that when I smell discontent like that, or if a person presents themselves to me of anything less than a man, I feel bad for them. Because what would make you enslave yourself so? What would make you think so less of you? No one can walk up to me and tell me something that makes me feel less than who I am. So what I'm working on and trying to understand more is more of like we usually have heard the sermon preached before in this way. Who told you you were naked?
Exactly.
Who told you that? And why would you, like, say, for instance, when someone, Black is ugly? Impossible, because I see the beauty of Blackness everywhere. You know, some things we can confront head on because they just lies. But what you shouldn't do is embrace the lie and make it a part of who you are.
Don't own it.
What woman wants a man that anybody can say anything to him and he becomes that pet? What woman wants that man?
Ain't gonna happen.
So I think that if we contribute to these young boys and get them to understand, you know what? You have people depending on you to be excellent at whatever it is you want to do. And stop giving them excuses. I never could use the fact that my father died as an excuse to be an absolute a-hole. I never could use that excuse for robbing and hurting other black people. It's completely irrational to me. So if we could teach young people to understand, it's what you make it. It's not what someone else makes it. It's what you make it.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say is you create your own home field advantage.
Yes, it's your destiny. And we need to stop telling young people, especially, I'm glad a lot of them look at you and they look you in your face and call you a liar now. How dare you say I can't be what I want to be?
Leonard,
You think I can't be this. You think matter of fact,
I remember there was a time, Leonard,
that because you failed.
I remember there was a time where young people look a grown person in the face and call them a liar. You know, they might have to go to the dentist. You know, but you know, times has changed.
Well,
you know.
I tell you what,
times has changed a little bit.
Stuff together and going on about your business too.
I'm just saying, time to change a little bit. Time to change. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? I'm just picking at you, brother. I know what you mean. Pete, talk to me, Pete, and Cassandra coming to you next.
All of that. But if you'll just give me my 3 minutes, we want to definitely acknowledge that one aspect of the man, woman, and child concept. So the mother and her duty and responsibility just through her presence, the effect that she has, right? And certainly when you decide to align yourself with one, and I just want to give them a shout out because that's a critical part. Our dear sister related to the home.
Yeah.
So quickly, if I could.
Go ahead,
as
brother.
Stars in the sky shine brighter the darker of night. Your essence and loving presence shine brighter than sunlight. Midnight sweet chocolate darkness, flawless, soft, supple complexion, fudge-colored perfection. Creation created wonder and bliss. Inspired with desire, I must enjoy all of this. Adoration's twist, lip-to-lip kiss, fulfillment of loving you, I can't resist, chocolate lady. Rare beauty, body, temple, true fine, please be mine. Pause this moment in time. Heaven often prayed for a place many hope to be. I found heaven's reality when you first kissed me, chocolate lady. Easily you persuade me to love loving you, thought romancing you as companion, fantastic life accompanied through you, eyes of inner world excitement, lips made only to kiss, spirit sweetly tender, figure magnificent. Fulfilled hopes and dreams, one thing sincerely desired, our love to last for a lifetime, constantly blazing as raging fire, chocolate lady. No needed makeup, simply wake up as your hand I take up. Days start confirming love, engulfed in this dream real experience, comforted in your love. Chocolate lady, we love you.
That sound like that was good,
brother. Okay, snap.
That's a bad man. That's a bad man.
Yeah. Look at here, sweet lady.
We can't make it without him. We can't make it without him. We can't.
I want to buy that book when he put it out. I want to buy the poem.
Look here.
Is Pete in Georgia? Pete, you in Georgia?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, here.
Okay, good. You got to come on the show and do that. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to be on the show, sir.
Sweet lady.
I want to be a witness.
Would you be mine, sweet love for a lifetime? That sound good, y'all?
Okay, you know why he sing that song, Raheem?
Why that?
So you don't have to.
But I thought I'm trying to help the brother, you know, because he dropped a couple of notes. I'm trying to make sure I feel them boys. Ow! Look here. I'm gonna have my James Brown. I'm gonna have my James Brown moment again. Ow! Don't make me do it now. I'm gonna have my James Brown.
Him passed away. Him in heaven now. Don't do him either. Him in heaven now for a reason. Okay.
I'm gonna have my James.
Raheem. You just have to talk about that.
Sweet lady, would you be mine? Every now and then,
no.
Y'all know every now and then I gotta give y'all a song. I gotta break out with a song every now and then, and I know y'all appreciate it. I know y'all do. Cassandra.
Yes.
Talk to your brother, Cassandra.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Don't sing anymore. That's my first thing. Please don't sing anymore. We love you though. We love you. We love you.
Boy, I'm about to
But
have.
I'm just I love what she did with those words, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't care what nobody says. I will follow my black man as he follows Christ. I have no problem serving him as he's serving Christ. You understand what I'm saying? Because serving is easy when serving your man is easy when you know that he has your best interest at heart and that he has God first. When you got that, ain't nothing I would not do for him. As long as I know he has God first, because God is not going to have him do anything that is not right toward me, toward his family, toward mankind, I'm good. So we have some of the most amazing men on the planet.
Yes.
That's just my feeling. That's just my feeling.
Absolutely. Toussaint. Now, Peter, bad man. Now, Pete, he dropped it on us. Now it's time for you to give us a poem. Go ahead, Toussaint. Give it to us.
Know when not to embarrass yourself.
Peter, bad man. It's gonna be hard to follow him now. It's gonna be hard now.
Don't come. I do it.
Look,
hey, you know what I said about influence? You don't have to be smart. You just know somebody that is, and just follow suit.
There you go.
And learn how to shut your mouth when necessary.
Exactly.
You said it all. I don't have to say anything.
That's it.
What can you add to that? That's a damn wrong. He's a poet.
Exactly. Look at a poet, and he know it. That brother dropped that one now. Willow, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm trying to tell you.
Go ahead, Toussaint. You had something on your heart, brother?
No, I'm good. No, it's good. Thank you, Pete. I want that. You email that to me, man. I'm gonna use that before the day over with.
Oh Lord, man, you can't use that man poem like that, man. That man wrote that poem, man. How you gonna talk about you want to use that man poem? he got a book coming out in a couple of months. Buy the book. Y'all buy the book.
Buy the book, good. I'll buy the book.
Buy the book. Willa, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
Just want to put a period on that. Everybody has said a lot of inspirational things, and I hope it changed somebody and helped somebody out there today. That's what's on my heart right here.
Good deal. VP, talk to me, brother. VP, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Where you at, brother? Friday, you there?
I had to find a mute button.
Oh, okay. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Oh, last thoughts for the sanctuary? I'm sorry, I had walked away.
Oh, okay. Well, did you hear Pete's poem?
Oh, yes. With the woman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think that was kind of going into what Friday was saying, but he said it in a it's almost like having the amplified version and the King James version. One's more poetic than the other, but it's the same thing that's said. Depends on how the hearer wants to listen. I do believe that if you get a good woman behind you or a good man behind you, it is easier to find that sanctuary type mindset and lifestyle. And it was right before where she was saying, I forgot her name, but she was just saying right before this that she would be the type, as long as her man was serving, then she would have no problem.
Cassandra.
I think with men have a problem of understanding that their ego is too big for women to overcome. And when it comes to that sanctuary mindset and even having that poem, like I say again, it sounds good as a fairy tale. I think artists paint you a picture to delight in, but they don't tell you about the struggle it took to make that form. So as long as we remember that it was a struggle to make that form and not just see the outside picture once it's done, then getting to that sanctuary is also an easier way to get, or easier path to get to.
Absolutely. Rico, you gonna buy the book, brother?
Yeah, I'll check it out. Man.
Yes, sir.
You going to Cloud or you coming to me?
No, I'm going to you.
Well, man, I agree with what everybody said, man, especially what BP just said. I think it gets to a point where our home field advantage lies within our reality, our understanding of the true reality.
of what's going on, purpose, and reasoning behind what's going on around us and within our lives, so we can examine what's going on and analyze how we move it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good to have that home, for that home field advantage to work. We have to stand in truth, and we have to also, in standing in that truth, we have to acknowledge our flaws, our imperfections, and our limitations.
Mm-hmm.
When you know what your limitations and your flaws are, and you acknowledge the fact that you have a energy or an enemy that's out to try to expose those flaws or those imperfections, that's another part of your advantage, your home field advantage, because now you know how to protect and shield or put an armor around those imperfections or those flaws. And so it lets you know also to not do certain things, not to waste your time doing certain things, And it's funny when you asked that question, it came to me about the home field advantage being a part of knowing your weaknesses and your flaws. Like you're gonna have to learn that your imperfection is trying to sing.
Come on, man. Wait a minute.
Wait.
Hold on.
The minute you learn that, then you're gonna have all the advantage in the home field in the world. But
something happened to Rico line. I don't know what happened to his line. Something happened to it. I'm trying to figure out what happened to it. So
you got to know them imperfections and them flaws, man. I think that's real vital, knowing you having home field advantage, though. Knowing not only your advantages and knowing that your assets, but also knowing your deficiencies. Because if you don't know your deficiencies or understand where you are flawed and imperfect at, then when somebody else exposes them, you probably won't be able to get out of that situation. So you lose the advantage when you don't already know what your weaknesses are.
I'm gonna sing some Luther tomorrow. Friday, what's on your heart, sis?
I just say that I really love our Black men. They're amazing. I do have done all that I can to support mine and others. And I really believe that it's time to, it's past time, but now is the time for manhood to speak up. So, just really greenlighting that manhood in its totality. Like, it's okay to acknowledge your feelings, which we spoke about. It's okay to align yourself with your creator, God, and be the best version of yourself.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, you'll create boundaries and standards that elevates and empowers you to make good decisions, to include when you find your wife, or how to redirect your home if you already have one. And that's going to enable you to have home field advantage.
Absolutely. It's been a great broadcast. Anybody have anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, Rico uppercut you.
Yeah, I saw that. You saw that, man. He was saying something happened to his line. It got cut off, so I didn't hear all he was saying. But something about my excellent singing, man. How he really appreciate a brother that can sing like me, and so I appreciate the compliment he gave me. I really appreciate that compliment. That was good.
You wasn't listening.
Boy, I'll flip it in a minute, brother.
I love the Morning Glow family. I love the humor. I love.
Go ahead, Joseph.
No, I just said I love the humor, man. I love the knowledge, and man, all the love that's on this line, man. God bless all of y'all.
Hey, bless you as well, and it's okay, brother. You can go ahead and say it. You like the host when he sang them songs. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, say it, man.
Hey, man, look here. They say art is now beholder. So you go and sing your song, brother.
There you go.
I thought the same thing about Ja Rule when I first heard him. I was like, man, that dude can't sing, man. Yeah. But hey,
somebody
he sold millions of records.
Exactly. And
he sold millions of records, Raheem. You don't never know.
And I'm gonna tell you somebody else, man. When I first heard him, I was like, man, that Joker can't sing, boy. But that first CD he came out with, everybody, their sister, their cousin, and their mama had it. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. But there's that doggone. Yes, sir. Everybody had it, man. I was like, man, that Joker can't sing.
I said the same thing, man.
That's what the world, man. I sing better than him. But you know, hey, that Joker, hey, that first CD, man, everybody had it. I don't care where you went, you heard it.
He killing them. He killing them.
Make it last forever. Don't let our
killing
love.
it, boy. He breaking
Don't
up.
stop love. No.
There you go.
Don't stop love. Where you come from, make it like
Exactly. See,
man, we got to respect our limitations, man. We're gonna lose our home field advantage if we don't know our limitations.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
that connection, please.
Huh?
Make that connection for me with Pete in this show.
Oh, absolutely.
Let y'all know the show's coming up soon, y'all. October 14th.
Absolutely.
So those of y'all that's available, let me know so I can put y'all on the roster.
Put me on there. Just let me know when I'm there. Just put me on there. Let me know when. Let me know ahead of time now.
It's a show?
Yeah. Tell
I'm looking
them
for
about
a panel of men. I need a panel of men, a panel of women, and then we're all going to come together. That's probably going to be November the 4th for the men.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that whatever the next Friday is for the women.
Okay.
And I think that's the 18th for all of us to come together.
Okay. And I want to invite everybody out October. What is it? October the 27th. October the 27th, man. If anybody on here like jazz, we're gonna have we having a jazz night. And I always got a cup of something. This time we're gonna have a cup of jazz. And so y'all come on out, man. It's gonna be at the same place we had the Redeemed Awards. It's gonna be there over there in Lilburn. A cup of jazz, live jazz music. So we're gonna have people coming out performing and stuff like that. It's gonna be a nice evening. And so each and every one of you definitely, I would love for each and every one of y'all to come out, man, and just meet each other face to face, because a lot of us had never seen each other face to face at all. We be on here every morning, you know, we're family, but we've never been together in the same place. So I think that'll be a great opportunity for all of us to come together if y'all like jazz, like live music. So y'all make sure y'all come on out and have a good time with us on October the 27th as well. I got a thing going out right now. People, you have to RSVP, so that way I know who all is going to be there. But Rico, what's going on today at 3:00, sir?
Man, if you missed today's show and would like to hear it or see it in its entirety, you can catch a rebroadcast at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dklmediagroup.com.
And y'all get the opportunity to hear this great singing I did today, man. I did it for y'all, man. I did it for y'all. So I want to make sure y'all appreciate what I'm doing for you. I know you do. I do it again tomorrow. If y'all ask me real nicely, I might sing again tomorrow. If you ask me real nicely.
Don't do that.
Rico, is she here, man?
Say that again.
Is she here?
Oh yeah, I hope she's still here.
She ain't left.
Come on, Raheem. Let's go.
Willow!
Raheem, let's go.
Let me say it again. Willow!
Raheem.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Are you ready?
Raheem, I am so ready to receive his word. I'm so ready.
Well, you know what, Willow? I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna say it just like this. I'm gonna say it just like this here. Let's go.
Let's go, Raheem. Let's go. Let's go to the throne of grace this morning. Father God in heaven, Lord, we just thank you. We thank you, Lord, for all you do for us in our lives, Lord. Father, thank you for waking us up, oh Lord, to commune one to another, to be on one accord, Lord. Father, we just thank you. Father, I believe that you are the Alpha and Omega in our lives, Lord. Father, I want to honor this prayer with Jude 24:25. Now unto him who is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy, to the only wise God, our Lord and Savior, be majesty, be dominion and power, both now and forever. Let every heart say, amen, amen, and amen.
Amen, amen, amen. We can get out of here now. We can get out of here this time. We can go now. We can go. That's it. Bye, y'all. See you tomorrow. Listen, I want to thank everybody for joining. It is now, 10:28. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:28. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. Thank you for joining us. Spread the broadcast. See you tomorrow. God say the same.